Already live, guys. Welcome to Broadcast.gg. We're doing Scrim Nights here, EU edition. Let's go right into the game. We've already started here on Nepal. It's Mushy Beef, joined by Ham Tornado. How's it going?
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. So, opening up here on Nepal Sanctum, we do have Tvik's team, Cheeseburger Central, versus the Hot Dog Dancers with Mikey A, Neptuno, Vainless, Xiao, Logix, and Ruape. Hot Dog Dancers winning out early in the fight. This time around, able to get this first early cap. There was an earlier round that was played on Village, where Hot Dog Dancers also came out on top, able to take away the first round. We'll see how Cheeseburger Central is going to approach this next engagement.
Hot Dog Dancers holding strong here, but they're not quite on the point, as they know. Now Cheeseburger Central trying to move in. Tvik using that Bite of Grass, that orb, to be taken down, dealing enough damage there to clear the way. That corridor is coming in handy with the orb, just able to bounce around and land a lot of damage.
Yeah, you see Cheeseburger Central is running the Moira pick. The orb is super powerful, able to get 2 early opening frags for Cheeseburger Central, but unfortunately Hot Dog Dancers reinforcing on the point, kind of stuffing Cheeseburger Central's push onto the point. Cheeseburger is running a Deathball Reinhardt Zarya composition versus Hot Dog Dancers dive comp with Ruape on Winston and Xiao on the Diva. The lack of mobility does seem to be hurting Cheeseburger Central a little bit. The team seems a little bit scattered. The Reinhardt earlier was on the point while the rest of the team was still behind at the choke. Maybe if we see a little bit more coordination between the team, they can take a cohesive push and start putting some percentage on the point. 63% and counting for Hot Dog Dancers right now.
Cheeseburger Central looking to land a big Urshot, and they're getting booped off the edge. That's going to be Neptuno taking out Pag, and now they're able to try to scout back a little bit here as Hot Dog Dancers are looking to solidify things here. Cheeseburger Central, though, smacks. That's going to be putting out the Graviton Surge, but unfortunately not anyone there to finalize the damage as Cranks falls very late as well. Another foiled attempt. Hot Dog Dancers looking pretty strong on the defense early on.
Exactly, we saw Ruape pop the Primal Rage in that last fight. He was actually caught in a trap from Cranks, but regardless, he was able to help boop off Pog into the void, and that definitely won the fight for Hot Dog Dancers. Now a trance coming in from Cheeseburger Central, but another amazing boop from Neptuno. Oh my goodness, Cheeseburger Central lose Nepal 100% to 0. Oh, feels bad, man. Oh wait, this is actually best of 3. I mean, best of 5. JK, we have one more round.
I think, they just play it so that they play all 3 maps is all.
Okay, all right.
This is just Scrim times.
Yeah.
LaFon,
but
let me
man,
know when you want to jump in.
Yeah, whenever.
All right, cool. Are you on the game?
No. Oh yeah, I'm in game, right?
Wait, really?
Yeah, I sent you in a friend request.
On EU?
Yep.
1275?
Hmm?
Okay.
Let me try it again. I sent it again.
Yeah, try again. Oh, okay, got it.
Weird.
You lag.
I literally pasted the same thing.
Okay.
oh,
There we go.
you're in.
There's LaFon. LaFon again. Just to remind, we're on Hot Dog Dancers on red. Cheeseburger Central is on our blue side here, so. All right, guys, I'll have you take it away.
Did I say hot dog what now?
Hot Dog Dancers.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm just gonna watch this first round. You guys keep
okay.
casting.
Gotcha.
I need to get familiar with
Cool.
dudes.
Awesome. Well, third round of this map. Now we are taking you guys to Village, where Hot Dog Dancers is making a lot of early progress on this point. They did win out in frags in the early fight, and have the tanks have set up on this point, forcing Cheeseburger Central to aggress onto them. Looks like this should be a reset. Cheeseburger Central now switching off of the Reinhardt Zarya into a more traditional dive composition. Tvik has also given up the Moira pick for now and is on the Zenyatta.
But Hot Dog Dancers here have a lot to work with as they're looking to hold here on Village as well. Actually, I believe this is Village, right?
Yeah, this is Village.
And Logix here looking for a quick pulse bomb, but is able to retreat back here. This is the same story as we saw in the previous maps here. Cheeseburger Central having some trouble working through the choke point, and that's going to be an early pick again onto Cranks from Logix here as continues on to Matt.
Oh, a very well laid out Diva Bomb from Schmex. Unfortunately, he falls before he's able to re-mech. No kills from that. Mikey A cuts down to Vic. Neptuno 1v1s out Zekor, and with that, that'll be Cheeseburger Central trying once again. They went the low ground push this last time, but Mikey A was holding pretty strong on the Soldier 76 on the high ground, a very great defensive position. Perhaps Cheeseburger Central will be looking to aggress more decisively on the high ground dive this time around.
Yeah, and they need to find a new tactic, exactly like you're saying. Cheeseburger Central have a lot to work with here now. 5 ultimates, and they're going to start with Pag jumping onto the point. That's going to be a missed sleep dart from Vaneless. So here, so this is going to be the monkey just raging onto the point here, and already 3 kills starting to fall for Cheeseburger Central. So this could be the opening they need. Transcendence comes down onto the point, but is not able to find and get the healing onto Pag and Matt here. So it's going to be even up here. Cranks will be able to finalize a kill into Mikey, allowing the point take in the flip here. Cheeseburger Central finally defending.
Yeah, Hot Dog, Cheeseburger Central invested, looked like just the tac visor and the trance into that one fight, so Zekor is still holding onto the pulse bomb for this next defense. Cheeseburger Central cannot give up one more fight. Hot Dog Dancers is at 90%, but they're looking good with a lot of stall ultimates on board. Hot Dog Dancers just deciding to go straight onto the point. A zoning Diva Bomb comes out from the side of Schmex, doesn't find anything but Pog, able to Primal Rage in the backline. Vaneless goes down. The entire fight bottlenecked up in this tiny little room now. Xiao gives up his mech in that last fight, and despite that, Hot Dog Dancer is still trying to advance onto the point, but Matt, with a double Pulse Bomb kill, is going to stuff that push.
I'm not a young man anymore.
Hot Dog Dancers, no ultimates in the bank, though they are close. Mikey A is somewhat close to a tac visor. Actually, Neptuno gets his sound bearer out now. Zekor also holding his in reserve. It'll be a question of which Lucio can time their sound bearer ultimate best. Generally, the Lucio that uses it last gets better value, but look at that! Hot Dog Dancers flip the point in their favor. Cheeseburger Central was just sleeping on the objective. They allow a free point flip. The last minute trance comes in. Cranks does get some pops off the tac visor and find some value, and Schmex on this Diva able to assassinate a couple of the heroes on the side of Hot Dog Dancers, and perhaps Cheeseburger Central will be able to defend once more, and they do.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that flip happen. Cheeseburger Central, again, they were able to still get the kills there. The point flip happened behind them there, but they were able to change it again and again because the kills came through here. So Matt holding on to that pulse bomb in the wings, waiting and looking for the pulse bomb pick. But who does he put it onto here? Could put it onto the support, just trying to go for the pick, but that's going to be enough. Nitpuno will go down.
Oh, trading Lucio kills from both of the Tracer's pulse bombs. Despite the Lucios going down, Hot Dog Dancers has gone onto the point, forcing Cheeseburger Central to face them on the objective. Ruape Primal Rages cranks to death. That'll be the 76 gone from that fight. Crucial DPS lost, and it's 99-99. Trades going definitely in the favor of Hot Dog Dancers, and they're just going to be able to take this entire map. Team 2 wins.
That's right, Team 2, our Hot Dog Dancers, will be taking that there, looking very strong and able to win the fights and the skirmishes when it mattered. Look at this. We're just taking up so many spots in spec. Nuki's almost angry with me. I think we're
Is
good.
she?
Oh, no, she was just like, I can't have 20 people in here. I was like, yeah, no, that's absolutely understandable. So, because they'd be like, Nuki, why are you letting all these scrubs into our lobby? Anyways, good stuff, good stuff. All right, cool. I'm down to shut up. Who wants to take it next?
Lemon, are you in?
I'm here.
Awesome.
Is LaFon just producing or casting too?
Well,
I think he's just
I'm streaming
spectating?
right now.
I'm just specking because like I haven't been able to keep up to date with meta yet. Like I haven't watched any Overwatch in the last little bit since we dropped out of collegiate series. So.
Oh, why'd you drop out?
Oh, we lost.
Oh.
we lost in playoffs.
Oh, okay.
So I'm talking.
Yeah, I can jump in here with Ham, or if Ham you want to break. I don't know who's been casting.
I told Nuki in the private. I wasn't sure if. Okay, there we go. I guess that's fine.
Red is hot dog dancers
Yeah,
now.
I tend to stay quiet in. Yeah, I was gonna say I tend to stay quiet in the
match chat.
In the match chat. I just tell Nuki.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's alright though.
Let's see if she. Yeah.
What's happening?
Actually, I'd like to hear if you guys are down. I'd like to hear LaFawn and Lemon.
Okay,
that's fine.
sure, go for it.
All right. I'm just gonna go Team Red, Team Blue, just because I'm way too tired to actually deal with
All right, yeah, let's do it.
true names.
I got sticky notes, so I'll attempt to say the teams. Yeah, you can kick it off whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'd say you guys should definitely. I mean, stick to one or the other. So I mean, red blue is fine. We can have more fun later.
Okay,
when-
so we are. So all right.
Okay, I'll say red.
Lemon,
blue.
what do you like being called on?
Lemon or Jen, whichever one you.
Okay, I'll just go with Lemon. Just easier for me to remember. All right, we're here on Kings Row. First attack, Team Blue here on defense. Team Red attacking as per the usual, getting ready. Logic's already on Tracer. Finds Tavik though, looking for that early poke damage with that Moira. And Logic's, sort of feeling out what available really is there. And Smack says no thank you, just downs him immediately. So that's going to be a little bit of a poke phase right now for the defensive side, as the offense forced to retreat just for the moment, as really not much there for them. Waiting for Logix to get back, that Tracer player, of course. Very important player in that scene. Matwaj on the high ground, that soldier poking down from above, forced to retreat from all the Junkrat spam from Mikey A. A very strong hero on this particular map, but Ruope is actually going to go down first, and that's going to be the tank lineup for the defensive side of Team Blue, actually putting a lot more pressure down as Smax picks up yet another kill.
And it's very interesting to see both Moras on each side, so she's able to throw her damage orb through these shields and damage the backline. So the backline have to be a little bit more careful with their positioning, and also the fact that the offensive team have the Lucio, they're going to be able to speed boost through and possibly catch them off guard, like they're doing exactly right here with the Coalescence. And here it comes, Smex able to take down the enemy Reinhardt. Soldier also getting a trade of its own. Finally, offensive will get a touch on the point, but it's going to be the counter Coalescence coming from the blue team that will push them off.
Zal playing very aggressively here as he, with that high energy Zarya, at least initially looking for something. Here comes the Riptire from Mike A on over the top through Hotel, looking for something, seeking out. It's going to find Matwaj in the backline. The Transcendence out from the defensive side as here comes Attack Visor from on high. Logix off that Tracer on Soldier now through at the point. The Graviton Surge though from above. Smack's looking, finding something, not at all, as only Logix goes down. And this is going to be at least the first tick here for the red side, as Team Blue forced to retreat. Smack's killing himself at the tail end of that. That's going to be Team Blue retreating as Team Red takes the point.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3, they all go down as Smex having the tack visor was the main ultimate, I would say, that won them the point. It's, of course, a team effort as we head into the streets phase, and they're going to try and occupy as much space as possible. You see Matt walk on the soldier, wanted to stay up in top beer, noticed that he might be in a bad position, decides to go back to his team. A lot of damage orbs coming from the Moors that are going to be perfect to bounce around the streets area as the payload finally makes its way down.
One thing to highlight, Baneless using that Coalescence earlier still has it on board right now, and Tavik not farther off, as now up to 79-80% here. So both these Moiras coming very, very close, very quick build, and Zhao in the backline finds 4 in the Graviton, and looks for it. The Coalescence comes in, but Mikey A over the top with Neptuno's assist, and that Sticky Mine is going to find 4.
The Junkrat was the one to finish everybody off, and of course team effort to take down everybody in the Graviton, trapping every single member, and that's the perfect time to activate the Graviton in the streets phase of Kings Row as we make our way around this beer section. Junkrat spam from Mike, but Mikey. It's gonna be Junkrat spamming up from high ground. Neptuna, though, just running around, and we're hearing a tire coming from the side of the offensive. Let's see who can find.
The Riptire on high. Mikey A is going to capture 1, but Rohit with an excellent Earthshatter to capture the point. So they're going to force forward. The kills are going to come through, and Smex, the only one left alive, does pick up 1 for his troubles, but nothing more. And Team Red right now in the driver's seat. Although all they have are the 2 ultimates from Logix and Baneless. They definitely have been rather uncontested since they took that first point, I should say. As now blue team looks to reset, recontest, but the payload already past that first bend.
Pag being very forward with this Reinhardt, and I don't even know how to pronounce half these names, but both these Reinhardts are going to try to hammer each other down. Finally, the Coalescence comes from the side of the offensive. Zarya shield saves Pag's life Is it able to finally cut down this Reinhardt? It's going to go right through his shield. He's going to have to force to hammer everybody down. It is to break, but the Graviton coming in from Smex is going to trap 4 members. Baneless is there to heal everybody, but the pin from Peg is going to take down the Zarya, and of course the Junkrat and the rest of Team Red are going to fall, and Blue hold this defense for now.
Blue team doing an excellent job catching that Graviton surge through, and that's a very aggressive play from the defense. They do stabilize finally, and they do have, although it did take them the last 2 ultimates they do have, although more coming online soon, as Crank's building up towards that Riptire, switching off that role as Matwatch was warned earlier, or I should say, Crank's building up slowly to that Riptire, looking for that first kill, and Team Red looking to build forward here. They do have 3 high power ultimates, the Earthshadow, the Graviton Surge, but the defense with an early 2 pick is going to nullify all their work for now as they reset here to the attacker.
And Matt is just getting close to the attack visor, and now they finally pushed off the red team, but sort of an eco round for both teams as they almost have 90% of their ultimates. So it's going to be up to the coordination of how they're going to want to activate this one. Most likely a Riptire may be coming from the offense to try and get behind and get through the back line. But difficult to say, as maybe a Coalescence will come out and sort of a linear damage coming in, but it's obviously going to be grouped up with a Graviton, Soundbears, and Coalescence on the field.
Riptire taken out by a well-timed Fire Strike, and the Earthshatter in the backline. No Reinhardt there to protect them, and Rofi's going to come through, pick up the remainder of the kills. Sao with the cleanup, and Team Red right now looking ready, loaded for bear, as they didn't use too much in that last fight, comparatively speaking. Smex with the Graviton Surge online. They're coming through. This is their last chance here, as they have all but the capture. Smex walking out, the Riptire taken down. Smex looking, eyeing it out, picks up the tank, only picks up 2. Will the kills come through? It looks like Team Red is all in the kill feed, however. Smex goes down, Valus picks up another, and with 2 minutes 19 seconds left on the clock, round 1 complete. Team Red completes the map.
And even the final attack visor to just clean everybody up. The tire on the right side, not as effective because there's, of course, the 2 tanks and the soldier able to shoot it down from the long range, but the quick 3 points going in favor of the red team, as now the blue team will have their chance to answer back here on King's Row, as we'll have to see if there's any composition switches, but the Moras have been very effective at bouncing their damage orbs around the streets phase, and of course that linear healing that's been so effective at keeping their teammates alive, especially in a Graviton. She's able to sort of distance herself when she hears the ultimate go off. She can sort of teleport back and then just have that healing on her team, and it's actually quite an effective healer, and I'm excited to see her in the future meta here.
One of the other things to highlight, rather, is that King's Row has always been known in its classical style as being something a little bit more usable by triple tank setups, or other fat setups as they're called, you know, with that heavy tank lineup. And Moira, with her AoE heals in large quantity, really sort of, helps bring that back into the fold. So we're seeing her here on King's Row, both from the attack and defense. Doesn't quite surprise me, seeing as how valuable she is in keeping those tanks up, especially the Zarya and the Reinhardt, who are well known for their brawling style when in combo together. So will that be the continuation here as Team Red takes the defense, or will we see a bit of a change up? Although Mikey A still on that Junkrat, still a very powerful hero on this map with all those closed quarters and corridors for him to walk through and spam those nades off.
Wonder if Mikey's laying a little sneaky trap over in the offense's building, but also the Hans on the defense to maybe just get a quick sound arrow in to see what they're running, but not going to be really much surprised as they're running exactly what they did in the previous round. And of course, mirror matchups, except we're not going to see the Mora on the side of red team. They're opting for the Lucio and the Zenyatta, but still Team Blue opting to keep the Mora. And we'll have to see how the different supports will go in that consistent healing in these team fights.
Deckard, with that sound, or the sonar arrow, sonic arrow used, now switches over to Lucio. So Lucio Moira being the flavor for Team Blue, as Matt Wodge spies out the trap and gets through. Logic sitting in the corner, looks for the Moira. Does he find the kill? He does not, and takes down Logic's in turn as Tvik comes through. But the kills are all red for the moment, so though they do lose their soldier, they don't gain much else. Matt Wodge, the only one left alive, picks up Mikey A, but is going to go down instead as he's unable to get out.
The red team were playing really forward on this defense, and of course they had the soldier and the Moore from the defensive team on the high ground sort of dealing with their own problems. So half of blue team was dealing with one situation, half the blue team on the high ground not helping the other team, having only one healer, blue team having to go for the reset. But now red team, seeing they're going to play forward once again. It's going to be a battle of Reinhardts. Next, a little bit low, goes down early in the fight.
Team Red in an advantageous position here as they take down another 2 And that's going to be Team Blue, I should say, getting out here. Zekr, the only one left. And that's a reset now. Matwatch picks up 1. It is Logix, the counter soldier. Matwatch still hanging around the top round here. Will he be able to get out? Looks like he might. Does so. Barely by the skin of his teeth. However, it's a reset now, and both teams looking forward. Yet again, ultimates online for Team Red mostly, as Team Blue still inching towards their first setup in terms of a high power ultimate. Vic initiates with the Coalescence. Immediately returned though is Vanillist with the Transcendence, and Sao is going to pick up the first kill. Matwatch takes his counterpart out yet again. Logix not having the best of showings in this soldier v soldier battle, but avenged by his Junkrat with that Riptire, and Team Red yet again holds for now.
Of course, yeah, there was the soldier trades and then the tire finishing off their main DPS, forcing them back once again, but Red playing so aggressive, there's just a time where they're going to get punished, and it's where Blue Team could be deciding to go on this high ground again. Matt seems to be the only one that wants to go up there, but he's not going to be sort of enough numbers to have a really effective force on that high ground. Of course, now that he has his tac visor, that might be more effective, but they're not even able to leave spawn. They're going to try and use a sound barrier. Graviton is going to be paired with it, able to save only a couple teammates as only 4 or 5 remain. Junkrat spam from high ground is going to force Blue back. Smeg's able to get a trade, but you can see the kill feed is all for Red right now.
One great thing there, the Graviton Surge for the defensive side didn't really get much value at all. And then, but in return, when the attackers came through with their Graviton Surge, Smex, though he captured 2 or 3, the follow-through was nullified by Ruipe with the excellent Earth Shatter to nullify any forward momentum that the offensive team had. And then, of course, the high ground track visor from Logix to clean up the remainder. Here's a very aggressive push now coming in from Team Blue. They rush the point. The Earth Shatter blocked mostly, although Tsao does go down, so that is 1. Pack picks up a swing, and Matwatch cleans it up with a Helix Rocket. And this is looking very, very good for Team Blue as they very aggressively walk in, take 2 ticks, and more.
They might just take this all the way home, but with how much time left, only a minute. Soldier having to retreat from the high ground to try and get some picks, but people coming from behind, Crank's able to turn on both the support players. Now clearing the way for the streets phase of King's Row. Blue Team, took so much time to capture the point. They're not in the greatest advantage right now, but if they can play this perfectly, they could tie it up 3 points apiece.
Team Red forced back out quite significantly as the supports dying really early, or really late, I should say, meant that they only now join the team back for the team fight. So here comes the recontest now as Team Red finally groups up as a 6-man unit on the high ground. Logix looking for something, anything at all, as Mikey A in this window on the right-hand side looking from behind as he's going to follow all the way back. An aggressive early play here. Transcendence comes in. Blue Team looks for something, finds nothing as a Transcendence from behind. Vanillist comes in. Earth Shatter. Sorry, I should say Graviton Search captures the 3 on the cart, 4 on the cart. The kills do come through. Vanillist picking up 2 for himself. And this is going to be Team Red cleaning up very handily off of a great turnaround with the Transcendence from Vanillist.
The life-saving Transcendence that you would usually see to try and nullify very scary ultimates, let's say like a Genji Blade or a Graviton, used to make the push. Although they got the distance, the Graviton came out now knowing that the Transcendence was pretty much almost done. And then it ended up costing them a complete team wipe. But watch this sneaky Reinhardt from behind. The Earth Shatter coming in, finding 2 players. The Zarya Shield only able to save 1. Actually, no, the pin takes out both supports, the tanks, and everybody in between. As that poor little soldier is going to have to back up the spawn.
A great call out there as Cranks thought he picked off an early kill, and he did in Mikey A. So Mikey A went down, but Ruipe behind them comes in for a huge Earth Shatter, nullifies that early first pick, and Team Blue now up against the wall, a minute 30 left. And while they do have ultimates to work with, there are a lot of high impact ones. In fact, they are looking pretty in a lot of disrepair right now. So Ruipe, the Team Red playing a very aggressive style. The Graviton Surge on top through there, but the kills don't actually come through. Logic's the one instead. Earth Shatter comes in, it picks up 2. But Team Red still holding. They're bending but not breaking here. The shoulder charge misses, and that's going to spell death for the Reinhardt as he's going to be booped away. Smex picks up Sao, so his counterpart Zarya does go down. So Team Blue are getting some forward momentum here as they do get their spawns back in. Mikey A forced to retreat, but Smex with an excellently placed right click. Some may say lucky indeed as he finally takes down Mikey A, the low HP Junkrat.
They should have been able to punish Rue earlier on for sort of not even a misposition, but just being left all on his own, and it was the Pag that missed his pin and ended up killing him pretty early in this next fight. But nonetheless, they are able to make that distance. Rue having to retreat means pretty much a guaranteed capture point here for Blue Team as we head into the final part of King's Row. And interesting to see that both Moras have been gone in this second, I guess, play of King's Row, and both teams opting for the Zenyatta. Transcendence, very useful to sort of nullify the Graviton, or at least try and save as many teammates as you can.
An aggressive early play, the Graviton Surge comes in, but Transcendence right after it, as does the bubbles from Zarya, the projected barriers. Here comes the recontest, however. Zeker, sound barriers out, keeps his team alive. The Earth Shadow captures only one. Pag does manage to get a shield up in time to protect the remainder of the team. The Graviton Surge captures Logic Sense out as Mikey A comes back in, and Cranks with a giant Graviton Surge like that isn't going to waste any time tossing some grenades in the mine into it, and that's going to be another kill. Smex cleaning up the remainder. Vainless caught out by himself. Matwaj gonna find the ability. He's just gonna jump off the map to reset himself with the rest of his team. However, this is already a better scenario for Team Red as they have more time on the clock just entering third phase.
And with 3 players, Blue Team were able to just throw out the Graviton and completely team wipe side of Team Red. But they're going to have to keep an eye on Mikey here on that high ground. Also has the Riptire that he's most likely going to try and throw at any moment to get through the backline, try and target those supports, or even Matt in this backline. Smex is very low health. He cannot go down in this team fight. Only 45 seconds left. This might be their last or second last chance. Rue and both tanks from Team Red, very low. D-Mech tax. I believe there's a Riptire on the field. Let's see Cranks can find anybody. Finds the enemy Riptire as Team Red now trying to go for the backline. Soldier versus Soldier. Matt's going to win that one as Crank's very low. He might be going down, but the payload is almost home. 20 seconds left. Can Blue make it?
Smex has been completely uncontested here in this last little bit of the round as finally Raupe swings at him, but a timely Earth Shatter from Pag, and then the Graviton Surge just collect the remainder of the corpses off the cart. Team Blue do manage to complete the map, but with a significant time disadvantage.
And most of that time being wasted on the first point. I mean, I felt they had a pretty good Streets phase, and only took, what, 2 team fights to really get to the end of this final phase. So if they can focus on maybe their composition or their strategies getting actually on the capture point, I think they'll have a smooth sailing route going into the next points.
Smex tagging out, looks like he will be needed to be replaced. That is the sort of way she goes in Pugland as the pause comes through. We reset, getting ready.
Cool. I thought we're...
Mm-hmm.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, so it sounds a bit lengthy. I think because I noticed that both of us are doing like a hybrid play-by-play and then also finishing like with an analytical thought, so it sounds a bit more lengthy rather than just doing play-by-play and letting the other person do the analysis, which I like that we're both doing, but it can sound more lengthy, I think, for that reason.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool.
My tempo's all over the place, goddamn though.
Anything you want to say, LaFon? I thought we sounded good, but
I'm really rusty, so I'm just, like trying to get back into things before we actually, before I really critique myself. Anyway, into the fight we go. Team Blue now with only less than a minute left, as they really only captured the full map with 60 seconds remaining. As Team Blue poking away, they did sub out a player as Matwad now on the Zarya. Mikey A taking full advantage of that, and he's gonna find 2 kills as Roype swings away at his counterpart, and Team Red light up the kill feed.
of course, and Soldier, the blue one, going down to the enemy Soldier. Main engagement there, but of course Red really pressing into the spawn, chasing down Matwalk now, really staggering this player. With 20 seconds left, that's exactly what you want to do, and of course you don't want to get punished for that exact reason, as no ultimates being earned yet with 15 seconds. Blue are going to have to go into this next offensive with nothing. Hopefully Pad going with it, like a really risky play, like maybe going for a pin, hopefully getting somebody in that case, but ooh, Blue is going to be taking some hammers and goes down. Red are in a good position. Matwalk, see if he can do this on his own, steps onto the point, cranks his low, and he goes down as well. Red are gonna win this one.
Red just take full advantage of the fact that Team Blue don't get a very good first engage and then sort of waste their own time, as they only had 20 seconds with which to contest, and for their troubles get no value whatsoever out of the point. And that's gonna be round 4 essentially, giving us nothing. So 1 tick left now for Team Red, and they have a whopping 3 minutes in which to do so.
So having more time, of course, means they're going to have ultimates to work with. So Blue are going to have to, and of course, Blue are going to have their ultimates on defense to work. But the last fight was so crucial in everything they were doing. And of course, the main engagement of the Soldiers going down, having to force the reset, and even staggering that last player was perfect plays coming out of the defense. But now on the offense, 3 minutes, they've got tons of time. A little bit of a composition switch. We're seeing the Ana come out on the support side for the defense, but still the Lucio and Zenyatta will be on the red side.
An interesting composition coming here in from the offense. We're seeing Logics on the Genji away from the erstwhile Soldier. It's going to be no more Junkrat either for Mikey A, as Tracer is the method with which they choose. So they're looking for a little bit of a faster play hero from their DPS, less of the siege play that we saw from before. Team Blue now with their backs against the wall. Mikey A now switching again, so the caster's dilemma in full display there.
But look at Pag, he's going to be looking for an early Fire Strike or an early pin as well. He's going to get not even speed boosted out of there. He's not going to get punished at all, but a Pharah, I believe, from the side of Red's going to come out, and Neptuno is going to be pocketing him, and Logic, see if he can get through towards the backline.
It's gonna be. The Logic did get that Fire Strike reflected out, so he's a little bit more value. Pag, though, besieged. Logic dashes in. A brilliant nade, though, from the side of Ana as Biotic Grenade comes out, but Team Red is gonna be the one with the full advantage here, and Eerie kills himself with his own Helix Rocket. Madwatch trying to turn it around, but not nearly enough, as Vainless and Tvik in the backline, as they are the only 2 left live. Mikey A drops down from the skies, and with Vainless, Neptuno looking on, Team Red takes this map.
Didn't know how to deal with these interesting offensive composition of the Pharah. They had a Genji. I think even Roos switched to a Winston, but so many things to deal with at once. And with 3 minutes, they did it, I believe, in the first or second try. But play the game. Going to Cranks. Not even the Riptire, just the pure devastation into the Graviton.
Graviton Surge collects a lot of heroes together, and the splash damage of the grenades means that Junkrat will take full value out of it. And into the next map we go.
He gets full credit for the Graviton. I feel like it must be such a feels bad for the Zarya, who always gets her play of the game taken. Same thing with Ana.
As is sometimes said, the reward is in winning, and the reward is enough of itself, but to my knowledge, no one actually says that. It's not a thing. However, our next map is unsure yet. We are waiting for the remainder. It may look like there's some turnover happening here. And lastly, so any thoughts so far that from our, I mean, we only got to see really one map between these two teams. It gives us a quick chance to discuss some of the thoughts we had.
Of course, and it's hard to like comment on certain matchups because now we've had some people switch down in certain different roles. Like Matwalk was on the Soldier, now he's on the Zarya. But I believe, I'm trying to remember now, I think it was Logix and Matwalk on the Soldiers, and you had Rue and oh, what's the enemy? Reinhardt. But
Do you mind if I just jump in really quickly?
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
no, I'm
any
completely-
external
I'm com-
thoughts?
I'm
Yeah, we're just
completely-
bullshitting.
Yeah.
I was like, I really enjoyed you two's casting, by the way, but also just trying to work out like the little observing stuff. So I was kind of keeping an eye on the back line and the high ground throughout that game. And in the end, I think it was just red team, right? Red team with Logics, had the superior positioning of their DPS. Not only did you see Logix when he was on the soldier, always taking the high ground, taking an off angle, creating some kind of crossfire that, blue team was forced to push into. The two Junkrats were dueling each other, but it was always Mikey A who had the high ground advantage. So he just lets gravity, drag the grenades down, whereas Cranks was always trying to like find an angle to like boost himself up to try and 1v1 him, which already puts blue team in a disadvantageous position. After blue team was able to capture that first point in their offensive round, you saw Logix. He knew, he was confident in his tank line that they could hold the front, so he took this very long flanking tack visor, and it was actually both him, not just him and Mikey A. Mikey A was on like this like platform, kind of almost where like the Widowmaker likes to camp out right after first point, and then the two of them were just shelling blue team from behind. And at that point, the graviton went out from blue team. It just wasn't enough. Reinhardt was completely turned the wrong way, and it was just basically that scenario over and over, which explains why red team was doing so well defending and blue team was having such a hard time getting any kind of traction through Streets phase.
You say same.
I mean, there's not much more to add to it. Like, it's an observation of like positioning from the players. So, beyond like actually watching VOD back, it means nothing to me in the immediacy, right? It's useful like when I go back and review, but
Cool.
yeah. Are one of the specs like, no, you do not want that.
Yo, I'll fucking
Lol.
play.
Yeah, we can let Nuki answer.
40. Oh, my poor voice. I've been sick for a lot, so.
Oh no. Lemon ginger tea.
Yo, I'll friggin' play. Let's go. Cast over me. Roast my shit.
Yeah. That'll be for another time. We should
Plat
totally
plays,
do
by
that.
the
You know
way.
what I want to do is a stream where we cast each other and then we just like roast while the other person's playing. So like one
That'd be
person's playing at a time.
hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I mean, that already happened to my team, so no thanks.
Oh. You guys
Losing tends
what's up?
losing tends to do that, you know?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Well, these guys are all like fucking GM, right? Oh shit.
Yeah,
They're,
they're
Yeah.
all really
they're
bad.
mostly
They're-
they're pro players.
Yeah, they're all
I mean,
pro.
they're pro players, yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah,
Oh
this
my
is
god.
this is why I was like, let's not talk too much in the chat. Don't want
Like,
them
I
for
to
mean,
example,
like
think.
Tavik,
Veinless,
Neptuno, Veinless.
Sao.
Yeah, I thought I recognized
Logic.
Neptuno and Erie, but then I'm
No,
like,
Erie,
oh.
I don't know who Erie is.
These are all
I don't know
like
who
basically
Wape is.
contenders plus players. Like
Yeah.
they're all either pro or could be pro.
Yeah.
Plat plays. Yeah, because they want me freaking playing.
I'm barely in plat. I think I'm in plat right
You
now.
are?
I haven't been able to climb too much this season, but like I placed a little bit lower, like right on the edge, 2500, and then I played a couple of games and dropped down, and then couldn't get back up. It's crazy the difference between gold and plat.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. Yeah.
You like want to try, but it's like a meme to try in plat or gold.
Well, yeah,
I feel bad in plat because it's basically me bullying. Like
yeah.
if
You need to
it's-
carry me. You boost me.
every 200 SR is like a different level of play entirely. It's kind of weird.
What are you? Oh, you're in 3000.
Yeah, I'm diamond this. I think
Nice,
my
dude.
alt account is like 100 away from master right now.
You play solo queue, or do you have like a duo or a trio?
So this account is exclusively solo. My alt account is like duo plus, and then my alt account is for like when I have to play with my IRL friends who are like bronze and silver, because yikes. So I just play Ryan because my Ryan is actively in bronze.
Gotcha.
I'm down to
Yep.
I'm down to duo though.
Yeah, I don't want to subject you to that. I feel like when I was in plat, I could just play tank really well, and then there would be
Yeah.
like a decent DPS. But I'm in gold, it's like, nope, no one's good. So,
Tanks are the real carriers of this game, dude.
yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm
low-key.
trying to do. I'm trying to get really good at Zarya. I feel really strong at Zarya and Reinhardt right now.
Yeah,
But
no,
I-
Reinhardt, dude. Ryan main all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Ryan
like-
and Roadhog for me. I haven't touched Zarya. She's too much of a team player, and
Oh
I play
shit,
with
Cruz.
retards.
We have Cruz. Look, team 2, right?
Oh, hey.
Maybe
Genji-
one day
Genji
I'll get
play.
a Canadian flag.
Right?
Actually, I have the Egyptian.
Oh, Finzi.
Let me equip.
I want a Canadian flag. Do I even have it?
No, it isn't in the game. There's no.
Which is so weird, right? Like, why is it not?
No, it's not because there's no Canadian map and there's no Canadian hero, which are one of the two requirements for a flag to be in the game.
I thought it was like World Cup
Ah.
stuff.
No.
Oh, there's a rule then. I see.
Yeah. So like, there's a British map and a British hero, so there's a British flag. There's Egyptian hero, there's Egyptian map, so there's a flag.
Otherwise, they'd have to have every flag.
Eco,
Exactly.
Eco Point Antarctica. Let's make a Canadian version.
Yeah, come on.
Where it's like a mix
think-
of like Eichenwald and snow, so it'd be like foresty and snowy, which is what Canada is.
I think there's where's the player icon? I don't know what this particular one. The Nepali flag, of course, because there's a Nepali map, and technically Zenyatta is from Nepal, so
That's
Um,
true.
Hashtag monk life.
My Nepal are hard. But that's what I see in the chat all the time. It's always like,
Oh, God.
my Nepals are hard, or touch my
Hey,
Nepals.
Classy.
this is a PG-13 stream only.
Keep it classy, Twitch chat.
Okay, but we're trying to meme while we
We're
wait.
memeing.
So.
Okay, so does anyone have a hard stop? Like they need to cease by a certain time?
No.
Nope.
I mean, I'm probably out of here in like 10-ish minutes or so.
Okay.
I have homework to do, so
Gotcha. Well, we'll see if when the next one gets started up. I was gonna say maybe we could run a Lafon ham. Lafam.
Sounds
yeah,
good.
sure.
Lahem is extra French pork.
Le fond. Le fond.
Lahem.
That's
Le part. Pork. Le porc. It's ham in French.
Is it really?
Yeah, porc is ham in French.
What? The only thing I know how to say in French is je suis un vélo.
You are a what?
You're a bicycle?
I am a bike.
Lol.
Yeah, no. One of my friends was like, "Oh, I study French all through high school and everything, and when I went to France, like the only piece of French I ever needed to like get through, my entire stay was, you walk up to like a French person and they're like, oh, hello, blah blah blah, and then you say, je suis un vélo, and they're like, all right, English it is then. Okay, so how to get to the metro station?
Je suis une tornade de porc. I'm a ham tornado.
I'm a ham tornado.
Oh my god. Nice.
My French can be affectionately described as non-existent.
So much for French Canadian. Actually,
I'm not French Canadian though, so that explains literally everything.
I'm French Canadian.
Hey, nice. I live in Ottawa,
Hey.
so I technically should be bilingual.
You should
but,
be.
but
It's
no.
like the most bilingual place in Ontario.
Yeah, but you can speak
Yeah.
English so fast though. So good.
I-
So good English.
Dude,
I
I
know,
saw it
twice
a
the
little bit.
speed.
I saw the
Stage
I saw
is a
the-
wonderful place to learn how to speak. I'm telling you guys.
Wait, what is a good thing to speak?
Stage, like stage theater.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Were you theater nerd?
Yeah.
Yo, high five.
Yeah, theater. I love public speaking. I'm terrified of it, but I love it.
Isn't that crazy how they can still not be mutually exclusive? Being terrified of public speaking and enjoying it.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's like, enjoying being an extrovert, but still like getting exhausted from social interaction, right? Like,
Can't relate. Not in the slightest at all.
you don't feel tired after you go out and see your friends for like hours and
Implying
hours.
I
you
go
have
out
to,
and
like,
talk to
entertain
people?
them?
Socially
What?
exhausted, yeah.
Socially exhausting involves me leaving my room. That's not happening.
Oh.
Oh, it feels bad.
That's why Thanksgiving's really exhausting. It's too many people.
Yeah.
I joke. I happen to run the or help run the esports club for our school. So
Oh, nice of you.
I have to leave my room.
Well,
To
the
hang with
power of
other
the internet
gamers.
is great.
Yeah,
these days.
exactly. right.
Vinanra.
Vinanra? Yeah. If I recall correctly, he's an off-tank player.
Mm.
Could be wrong. One sec.
Vanan. Yeah, what?
Yeah. Oh, well.
Vanan? How do you say his name? Vanan?
I'd say Vinanra. Vinanra? Probably the
Vanandra.
closest.
Or you
Looks
can say
like Diva
Vin.
Zarya.
No, I'm Vin.
Vainless and Vinanra. I'm gonna fuck it up.
Hex, Erie, Matwaj. Matwaj?
Matt
I think
Waj.
so.
And Tvij or
Is he
Tvij?
Polish?
Oh my god.
Tvik.
Tvik.
Tvik. Vic.
There you go.
Tvik is Swedish.
Misfits.
Yes.
The face of Misfits.
Root Satan. Oh, you guys got it?
No,
Are you my friend? Are you my friend Stevie? He hates this map.
I mean, Satan. I don't even see a mate out yet.
I see what you did there. Or Symmetra.
Or Symmetra. Sim's not so hot on this map anymore. But I wonder if they'll pull out like a Sombra or something.
Sombra's really good on this map. Well, okay, she's good on first point.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good on first point.
Why is that LaFon?
The 2 mega health packs, one under Big Girls and one under Bridge. Well,
Yeah,
not
Big
Bridge,
Girls
whatever
is
this.
a really good
I
place
said
to...
big girls. I was
Big
like,
Girls. I forget what this particular like mine hallway is called. I don't remember what the call out for it is. But there's
top
another
mine,
mega
bottom
there.
mine?
I just call it tunnel.
And the tunnel's
yeah.
also the back one, right? So-
Exactly.
Dun dun.
So should we standardize it? What is it?
No, I do know there's a call out for it. I just don't remember what it is.
Lower mine makes sense to me.
30 seconds.
yeah, low and top mine. Then back mine. And back. Top. Fuck. Back, top, mine, tunnel.
Insert the preposition song from Schoolhouse Rock right here.
No one does train an early train hold anymore. Unless it's like second defense where you've got to like...
Or Bastion. Because it's just dumb.
No, Bastion can be used. It's used very limitedly though. Anyway.
Is it me and LaFon?
Oh yeah, you guys
Off
can
we go. Team Red coming in on the cart right away. Dive composition coming out. Cranks, Lucio, Cruz, our erstwhile Genji, looks up, finds some poke. Matwaj forced to hide behind Big Earl's sign there. Tvik with an early jump in, and Rope zones him out as Sal jumps on his backline. The two Winstons going for a ride, and it's going to be Tvik jumping back on the point, so does manage to get out as his Ana keeps him alive. Baneless from on high doing a lot of work here, and the first D-Mech is actually going to come from Team Red as Zhao's mech is going to be lost. Team Blue sort of poking away right now with that defensive setup.
Yeah, Matt Waj with Team Blue defending a very strong position right now. Both the hit scan and the Ana holding this high ground. It means that Team Red is going to have to invest a lot of resources to come and try to dislodge them from this position. Oftentimes you see a Soldier 76 on here instead, but Blue choosing to run with this McCree to quite a good effect. Eerie working well with Tvik on the Winston to cause a lot of confusion early on, dive the front line together, open up a lot of space for Matwaj to get to put in some damage from this backline. Good play so far, and Team Red is going to have to find another way to engage, but they do have a whole slew of ultimates in. A defensive sound barrier comes in from side Blue immediately. The Dragon Blade is pulled from Cruz, but unfortunately not finding any kind of kills. Both teams brawling back and forth so far on this payload.
Tvik does get Nano to the tail end of that fight, and that's quite alright as Zhao picks up one, but Eerie turns right back around as Zhao puts a self-destruct up in the air, trying to find something at all, but Tvik with the well-timed bubble nullifies the majority of that issue. Primal Rage right on out from Tvik as he zones everyone off the cart here. Cruz going back in, looking for a kill, does find Hex out. But Lucio going down early, Eerie forced to dash away. Top of Big Earls is Tvik will go down to Zhao. That's going to be the engage that Red was looking for as Cruz on a high, pokes away, doesn't find quite the kill on Vainless that he was expecting. And it's going to be a return from him as Sal looks to peel off some of the players. Team Blue looking to re-engage here.
Yes, exactly. Team Red making pretty good progress, but there is time for Team Blue for this last second contest. Tivik leaps in. Diva Bomb comes out immediately from Banan, finds Cranks, but in the meantime, Finzi has been tack-risering from this high ground, cuts down Tivik, though he himself falls shortly thereafter. Hex, the Lucio, bloodthirsty, coming up with many kills, and Team Red going to be routed on this next push, looking a little bit scattered. The tanks were alive, but they had completely forgotten about the payload, and that allowed the two supports on the side of Blue to reinforce. Now, Team Blue forcing this issue. A sound barrier comes out. They want to wipe Team Red completely from this payload. The entire team dives forward. Oh, and Eerie with a 3-man Dragon Blade cuts through the trance from Kodak on the side of Red. Blue will have to be careful, though. The payload is quite close to the point A. They'll have to be watching for a possible back cap, but that is them holding strong for now.
Cruz, while he did manage to pull the sound barrier out from the defensive side twice, doesn't get any kills from either Dragon Blade, and he's going to have to be a little bit more aggressive or effective with them in some capacity, or his team will have to follow up off the space he creates. Tivik, Nano boosted now in the back line. He's not going to find much, though, as it's going to be the turnaround. The Discord Orb doing a lot. Zhao jumps back in. Hex goes down. Ruffy is put to sleep, but the Primal Rage will come out as he's woken up right after. The kills are coming through. The cart is moving. Team Blue is falling.
Yeah, an excellent dive from Xiao into the backline. You saw that Tivik went down early. When your main tank is down in the beginning of the fight, that's already going to hamper your team. But the Diva from the red side was not busy watching her Ana or her McCree, allowed Xiao to go into the backline, assassinate Matt Waj, and that just was, and that meant the end of the fight for Team Red.
Tivik goes down early yet again, or I should say for the first time, as there just isn't the support there that he's looking for, and Matwad's going to go down. The dash reset coming through for Cruz. He's looking for more. Eerie left alone, but Vaneless through the back line managed to keep him up. There is Rofe going down to the counter Diva, as Zhao using that self-destruct to get the mech back and forces Venanra, his counterpart, out of it.
Yes, the two Divas brawling it out back here. Xiao is able to win out. Venanra goes down, and that'll be a crucial amount of damage mitigation gone from Team Blue. They're going to try to reset on this high ground. Eerie has switched over onto the Soldier, but both DPS ultimates, the Blade and the High Noon, both come out from Team Red, and with that, that'll be another clean wipe. Eerie just hopes for quick death, and Xiao is happy to oblige him as the payload continues to make fast progress.
Cruz, with the respect from that Dragon Blade, though, does turn 3 in his favor, and that payload moving forward. Stuffing the doors now. Zhao up high with that micro missiles from Diva. They're looking to keep the tanks in that small area. As the recontest comes here, Tivik does manage to get to cart. It's going to be Team Blue, the two tanks on it. Zhao chasing out the supports in the backline. They can't even get through as Eerie cut in with Hex. Hex does get nano boosted as Vaneless looks to be caught out, and they're going to try and get the Lucio through. He does manage to survive, though, with the survivability of that nano boost, but finally killed out as in the backline, the rest of Team Blue goes down. Zhao does get taken out of mech, but he will trade that any day for a captured point, as Vaneless picks up the last 2 shots on the mech and on the player.
Yeah, we saw some excellent tank play coming out from Ruwape there. He went into that choke, popped his Primal Rage, and completely split the supports from the rest of Team Blue, who desperately needed their healing to stall that point. And with that play, Red will be pushing through into this third point. Tivik swaps from the Winston onto the Reinhardt for more shielding. The sound barrier does come out to give Team Blue some more sustain. Red, though, not looking to back off at all. They are forcing this point. Cruz with the Dragon Blade, the trance keeping him up between that Genji and Xiao's Diva Bomb. Team Blue will need to put up the extremely strong defense in this next fight. They
Team Blue, though, do have a lot more ultimates here, as Team Red used nearly everything. Actually, I say nearly. They used everything that last fight there, going for broke, whereas Team Blue now, with the ult economy in there, very much in their favor. Tivik swinging away, trying to build that Earthshatter up. Kodak, though, with an early pick off Mad Wedge, goes down the backline. The kills come through. Venanra gets nano boosted, takes down Roypay. Tivik on point, zoning out everyone. In the backline, though, Red, Finzi, chasing after the Zen. Hex goes down. Finzi recalls back out as he's brawling away. Tivik with a fire strike from on far. Picks up another. Finzi, though, trying to turn this around in his favor. Although Cruz, besieged in the corner, sits down and accepts his fate as Team Red resets.
Yeah, a close last point defense from Team Blue. You saw Xiao was trying to wall off the spawn, keep the supports from joining the rest of the defensive team, but in the end he was cut off from his team and was demeched. And that kind of split attention from Red allowed Team Blue to reinforce the swap onto the Reinhardt, really helping out on this last point, just blocking all the damage from any of the front line. Now, Team Red re-engaging from this left side high ground, looking to go perhaps around the shield, but Finzi opens it up with a huge pick onto Hex.
Tvik, though, with that shoulder charge in the backline, Eerie, Nano Boost, the Detectivizer used and expended. Sal forced out of mech. Matwaj in the backline picks up another 2. Self-destruct comes out. The sound barrier as well. Venanra not finding value, but Matwaj content to get lost in that backline is going to be Team Red all but disassembled here. Pulse Bomb does manage to find Cranks at the last moment. Matwaj putting on a clinic here as he cleans up. The Transcendence out to keep everyone alive. Cruz, no sir, nothing for you here today. This Kodak, the only one left alive from the far ground. He is going to look onwards as overtime ticks out. Round 1 complete.
Oh, Cruz had that Dragon Blade up at the last second in that fight, and it could have turned the fight to the way of Red, perhaps let them find the kills to push into third, but there was such a clutch trance from Team Blue, completely nullified any kind of hero play that could be coming out from Cruz. That's a feels bad, man.
Cruz, they will go back to the defense though, cementing their second point hold nearly at the end that yellow box of victory is. So they do have to go nearly through the entire map to Team Blue for their attacking round as they look to set up here. Team Red, however, well shown getting caught a couple of times in first point and third point. They do manage to go quickly through second point, but their downfall may come down to the amount of time they spent where they rotated ultimates and got no value for them.
Yeah, exactly. Red had such a hard time dislodging the high ground defense on their first point push. It really hampered their time bank. But once they got rolling through Streets phase, this extremely aggressive push, like this almost like a spawn camp, kind of something you would see out of old school Selfless perhaps, really seemed to confuse Team Blue. They weren't really sure how to regroup as a 6-man team to rebuff Red, so perhaps this can be something they can use, Team Red can use to their advantage now on the defense. Go out early before the choke, catch Team Blue off guard. This may be the key to this next hold.
Now it looks forward to their ability as Finzi looking slowly doing some push-ups here on a rock.
Extreme sports, man. It's next level.
I mean, you gotta have some fun with it, you know? Gotta style on the high ground, as it were. Cruz on a Diva now, switching off the DPS place of the Genji. And it's going to be a very high ground setup here, initially at least, from the tank lineup of Team Red. Team Blue taking it slow. Tvik jumps on the high ground, but immediately besieged by both tanks from the defense. The Niner are going to come and support Tvik. Tvik does fall down. Eerie in the back line as he's looking for something, anything at all, but forced to retreat in the moment. And it's going to be a rather slow engage here. The duo teams not really finding what they're looking for, at least initially, as Roypage is going to jump right back in, but the first kill does go to Eerie as he dashes through Finzi for that first kill, and Team Blue lighting up the feed as Cranks doing what he can to both support and slay. Doesn't find much as Cruz get forced out of mech, and Cranks will be forced to retreat that Ana player. Team Blue looking to find at least a little bit more payload momentum here. Finzi now back and does do a little bit of spam damage on Venanra.
Yep, Team Red had a very good high ground positioning in that initial fight. It just looked like the tanks weren't really clear how they were coordinating the drop down. So when they did, it was completely separate, and the individual tanks were able to be taken down. Xiao now running some contestation on the point. Trance does come out from the side of Blue, giving a little bit more support as they wait out the Primal Rage from Ruape, just looking to see if he can wear down the clock at all. Again, Blue does not need to finish out the map, so Team Red will be looking to just chew away as much of the clock as possible. Brawl still happening on the point, but Blue is trading out quite well. Hex takes down Xiao, and that will be the last amount of stall. Tracer goes down, and Blue will push through point A quite easily, about 2.5 fights.
Team Blue does now recollect themselves. They do have ultimates online, but Team Red looking up at their ult economy, 4 ults to their name, and it looks like they could recontest here at any moment as they now collect as 6 before re-engaging here. Cruz on the high ground, sort of feeling out Eerie on that area. Tvik jumps the high ground, jumps to the back line. Eerie right away picks up Finzi before the transcendence comes out. Kodak not able to get back in time. Roipe does pick Eerie up before he gets much else. Nano Boost now on Roipe as they jump back to the point, and this is going to be Team Blue using the sound barrier in contest. Matwaj on the back line. As now the jump in continues. Team Red, my apologies, keeps getting the kills here, but Matwaj finally turning one in his favor. As Cruz comes in and looks like he just zones that ultimate a little too far back, and Team Blue managed to escape its area of effect.
Yeah, exactly. It's a huge brawl on the point right now. Both sides trading ultimates. Clearly, the defense wants the payload to stop right now, but they're just not quite able to mechanically find the picks, even with investing the nano boost. But the same could be said for Team Blue, who invested a sound barrier in that last fight. The payload is completely stalled now as Tac Visor comes out from the side of Finzi, but D.Va is still up. She gobbles it all up. No kills can be found on the side of Red. D.Va Bomb, however, somehow catches Ruape the Winston unawares, and with this, main tank will be down for side of Team Red. This could be Team Blue's chance to push forward. They still have a Transcendence in the back pocket if they need any more sustain to push this cart right through the last point. I mean, to the last few meters for the second point.
Cart is going to hit the second checkpoint as they get set. Team Red to defend their third point. Not farther too long until that yellow box of victory. That last third of the map, and Team Blue buying out Zhao does not quite find what he's looking for, as Eerie does manage to, or so I say, Zhao gets managed to get away from Eerie. And Finzi now on high. Force a retreat slightly. Matwaj in the back line. They're going to go over the top with the self-destruct. Tvik with the shield up. The sound barrier comes through. The Nanra does go down though.
Yeah,
it's going to be Team Red here coming with the kills. Hex with a finish, but not nearly enough, quickly enough.
Yes, exactly. A little bit of a missed time from the support and DPS. Lost one member on the side of Team Blue, but invested a sound barrier regardless. However, this could just be an eco push. Blue still has 3.5 minutes to not quite get the payload all the way to third, so they have plenty of time to bank some ultimates. Baneless still holding onto his trance.
Zhao unable to get the rewind out in time, and Team Blue going to come in swinging, literally, as Tvik takes down Zhao with that giant hammer. Cruz jumps on the cart, but he gets demech immediately, and then ended summarily not shortly after. Team Red now looking to reset as Team Blue walks forward here. They do have ults on the board with the Dragon Blade and the Transcendence coming up on the Self-Destruct and the Earthshatter. Slowly, they inch their way forward.
Finzi is about to come in to attack Visor. This could finish the fight if he can get a good flanking position, but as he can't get anything done as long as the D.Va is up. Both trances are popped. Red getting a little bit impatient, not waiting to demech that D.Va. Doesn't matter though. Finzi finding all kinds of purchase with this ultimate. Huge Earth Shatter, counter Earth Shatter though from Tvik. Sound barrier going to give his Reinhardt enough healing to just swing his hammer freely. Not quite enough though, as Kodak channeling Boombox takes down Matwaj and Tvik. Huge frags coming from onto the coming for the side of Red, and this will be another reset for Team Blue. Key Earth Shatter from Tvik. There just wasn't enough follow-up from his teammates to wipe
Baneless with a very
Red.
simple, solid play there to end that Tac Visor, as he managed to get the bionic nade off in the feet of the remaining two heroes, allowing Finzi to get the 2 kills with the nano boosted tactical visor. The nano visor, if you will. So Team Red resetting here. They did use much. Finzi though, with an early pickoff with those healer's rockets, and Zhao is going to take the space created, and they're going to push Blue all the way out. Hex goes down for his troubles, and it's only Matwaj not able to get quite out. So Team Red with the kills through there.
Yeah, a smart disengage from Team Blue though. They knew that when they need their main tank for this any kind of concerted next push, so they just disengage really quickly, allow Team Red to pick up any kills that they want. They're going to reset and try to come in, maybe give Eerie an opening for this Dragon Blade, give him a flanking position, distracting the front line. However, Finzi does have yet another attack visor up, and so this will be a crucial ultimate to zone the Dragon Blade away from his team.
Over the top, Venandra takes 2 with the self-destruct. Zhao, though, trying to turn it around himself in the backline. Valus does go down. Zhao on point, assisted by Cruz. Cruz put to sleep. Zhao dashed through by Eerie. Eerie gets 1. They force Cruz out of mech for 2. Can they take him out right away? Yes, he does. Hex, the one to get the final blow. As right now, Team Blue taking advantage. The spawns, though, definitely in favor of Team Red. As we're now down to the last 30 seconds of this map. Team Red looking to contest with their full effect. Zhao in the back line, not able to find anything. They force a Transcendence out, though, as Eerie picks up Roy Bait. They do need to contest right away, but Cruz unable to touch in time, and Zhao knocked away. Team 2 takes this one.
Oh my goodness, that was such a clutch sleep from Hex. At that very last second, Ruwape the Winston leaps in to try to start the contest, but he gets slept before he hits the ground, deleted immediately. And you need a 6-man team in order to hold that last point. It doesn't matter how close your respawns are. You saw that the Soldier 76 on the defense side was set up on the high ground trying to get like some kind of off angle, but you needed bodies on the cart, and Cruz was just a millisecond too late.
Welcome to Oasis.
Do you guys want to do feedback now or just go into the next casting?
It's your call. I do have to
either
go now,
way.
though. So
Okay.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
A quick what?
A debrief.
I have a bunch of notes, yeah, but if you I thought as a good tip, Ham, I think, or sometimes I feel you like trying to find the player's name. I always thought that if I'm like taking me too long, or if I didn't see the player's name, I always go the team. Let's say Diva Bomb out of Team Red, or Diva Bomb out of Team Blue is sometimes like an easier crutch for me than always trying to remember like who did it, like maybe 2 minutes ago or even in the middle of the play. Because if you're in God Mode, sometimes the names are like all fucked up. So you're like, Team Blue throws a Diva Bomb, or like counter, or like you can kind of group it up maybe if it helps you. If you don't know the team player name.
Yeah, I need to be a little bit faster. I like find that I pause a lot in between, in like the middle of my sentences. So that, I mean, not just that, but it also kind of give not just like the names and stuff, but it also gives like the co-caster kind of like, is she stopping? Is she not quite stopping? So yeah, I'll definitely work on that.
Or you can like just switch it up. So it's like if these are new players for the stream, it might help to just be like, oh, this team is starting this, because if you say Eve or Eerie or whatever, maybe the viewer, it might be easier for the viewers to say the team names, or just switch it up every now and then. And then you say yeah, the whole crutch yeah thing, which is just something to just write on a piece of paper and try and either think of it as maybe ignore the co-caster, not ignore it, but like pretend like what he just said doesn't matter if it helps you not say yeah. Because I know I say yeah to try and like agree with what they said, and I know it's my crutch word too. But there's a lot of yeahs. I also think you did good at like throwing energy to Lafon. Like if you end your sentence with like a higher, oh, but can they make it? And then you end it kind of high, like the tone high, or like, what will they make it? Or I don't know how to explain it, but then like that other person can take the energy. And I remember you doing that a couple times, or Lafon doing it a couple times. And I think that's a good way of like forcing the other co-caster to have energy. Or whatever. So that'd be good. That could be something you could practice too, because I've seen you do it a couple times, and I thought it was really cool to Lafon grab that and take off with it.
All right, sounds good.
And I didn't see you guys really setting up any ults. It was a lot of like saying the ults when it happened rather than before. Like, oh, in the next, you guys said a lot like, oh, they have these ults in the next team fight, but not really how are they gonna set it up. Like, you know, a Diva Bomb, or like to zone out, or like whatever example you want to come up with. There wasn't as much setup in this one than I thought, or it maybe not matter, but it could be some nice fill in.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think some like occasionally I just remember, like I was saying, like, oh, Finzi's about to come into attack visor. If he can find a flanking angle in this next attack, and if they can get the Diva mech out of the way, then they can just completely own the fight. But that's like the only thing that I remember. I'll try to add it in more often.
Yeah, because then you could say like noticing a lot of support ults, like especially the Transcendence. If like they're holding on to it, be like, this would be most likely to use against the Genji that's always trying to be in the backline. Or notice if the Tracer's got a pulse bomb and she's being a little bit more ballsy in the backline. Like just some things to it also helps your observer too, because they might be on their own like looking at whatever. But if you like set it up for the observer, then the play-by-play or the hyper person can like
Yeah,
take
that's a
over
good
with
point. Yeah, to give the observer something to like a storyline to follow. Like, oh, we're gonna watch this tracer now, see if she tries to like get an opening
Yeah,
pick.
like finding a position for the pulse bomb, or look like these guys have the diva bomb, they're most likely going to throw it, or like here's the transcendence, but when it runs out, like these are all the options I could I don't know, like just it's some nice setting up for the observer too, so when it actually happens it's like perfect. And I think like we did that on King's Row where it was like, oh, the graviton or like the transcendence is gonna, like I think I said something like, oh, the transcendence is most likely going to be used to nullify the graviton. It happened like right after I said it, and then like Lafon was able to grab that and like move with it. So it's like sometimes it plays out in the right moment, and then you can like hype onto it, and then it also makes you look smarter to like try and make an analysis before it happens rather than after.
Okay.
Just an idea. It's not like something you have to change. It's more like something to add. Now Mushu, it's your turn.
All right, I got you.
Mushu, did you have something?
My tactical visor is charging.
Okay. I'll.
My ultimate.
I mean, I'm gonna throw an apology here to Ham Tornado from that last one. My timing was really, really bad for a lot of the map, and I threw things to you too early or too late, and took things from you too early or too late, so that's an issue on my part. And it's something that I'm very, cognizant of, so keep that in mind. The second thing I want to notice is that when Lemon and I were casting, our timing is about the same, I noticed, in terms of like when and where we end off, which was pretty surprising. Like, it's rare that I have someone I cast with for the first time, and it's like, okay, yeah, I'll stop now, and you'll immediately pick up from it, right? The number one thing I would say that I have a problem with is that my hype levels go too high, and they don't come down fast enough. I think you heard it on, or I get surprised when I try to hype up a play that doesn't need to be hyped up. Think Route 66 and map, right? Like, the map technically just ended because someone stepped off the cart. There's no hype there. I try to, but it doesn't work. So that's something I have to keep in mind for myself in terms of what needs to be fixed for my casting. Beyond that, like, I definitely saw the point what you're making about, like, setting up ultimates in terms of the narrative focus, specifically Route 66. I noticed what you meant by that, so I take that point. Beyond that, I can't really think of anything for myself right away until I rewatch the VOD. But did you guys think there was anything?
I think that I only saw like mostly just maybe missed things, but that's also because like you can't catch everything. Like, the only thing I noticed that was like whatever was, I think, like mid Route 66, you like were more casting the movement, like, oh, and it was kind of like a slow play or like maybe a disengage, and instead of like jumping back into like a positional sort of casting or a narrative about ultimates, it was like, okay, Cruz is gonna go to the top, and it was like super, like the play was slow, and that was the only thing that way I noticed that you could have switched up. Other than that, I thought you caught everything, like Cruz in the back line, which Ham missed that you were able to get, and you caught a lot of like subtle ultimates that is like really crucial. If someone misses, the other person has to get it. And I thought you caught like everything, except that is just that midpoint that I thought could have been switched up. But yeah.
All right, that's a good note to take. Thanks.
I'll be watching over you. Damage increase. Thanks for the assist.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Enemies detected.
You should be at peak performance levels.
I'm on the objective. Rally to my position.
Okay.
I think it's safe to say like any end map can be hype, whether and it's like I don't think a lot of people that would be like, why is he hype? I think the only time you're gonna hear that is like maybe at the like first team fight of the game where it really doesn't fucking matter. But like end map, I think should always be hype, especially if they got off cart. It's like what a big mistake that costed them. Blah blah blah. Like I think as long as you explain how important that play is rather than just scream, then that might solve your problem of I didn't think it was hype. Well, explain why it wasn't hype, or maybe someone who's hype in a moment that shouldn't be, they'll have to explain why that was important. That'll fix any viewers that might have an issue with overhype, but I've never had an issue with viewers over not liking overhype, so.
Specifically, if you're talking about like the C9 at the last point of Gibraltar, I don't think that was necessarily overhyped. Like there are moments where you're like the team fight is like dragging on for too long, and the level of like emotional excitement is being sustained for too long without any kind of like dips, ebbs and flows. But in the case of that C9, I think it was a genuine like surprise and in the moment, because you weren't like nobody was expecting that, right? And so it can be understandable if it's not quite as like set up or as polished or smooth in terms of like conveying the emotional sentiment of that point cap.
Okay.
Group up with me.
Yeah.
On the whole, I enjoyed it for sure. So.
Yeah, I have fun with casting. I enjoy.
Yeah,
this part of
Lafon,
it,
we should
so.
do it again. I think,
Yeah,
we
I
gelled
think you and
pretty
Lemon are a
well,
good
and-
pair for sure for casting. I'd like to hear you guys more.
Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna go do homework and procrastinate now, so I will see you guys later.
All right, cool.
Thanks,
for
guys.
joining, dude.
Bye.
Yep.
Thanks for casting.
Alrighty, cool. So we're in the middle
Should we
of
just
this
wait
fight.
for the...
Yeah, we can wait for this map, and let's do let's see here.
Or show us like cool exercises you could do.
So
Like
I
I've been
think.
told breathing exercises, but like anything else?
Oh, you mean in terms of like preparation for casting?
Yeah, like any like pronunciation, like she shell, whatever. Like I don't know. Like what's maybe a good exercise or something?
I definitely
Left
have to
guy
look.
says like the tongue twisters and like vocal exercises actually help him. Like what you were mentioning, the seashells, the seashells.
Yeah.
I obviously need more practice.
You know, same, dude. Sometimes I stutter like retardedly. So it's like, I think I'd want to do pronunciation exercises and vocal energy exercises, which I've done in like improv before, but
Yeah, I think that'd be a good list to check out. But I don't think there's anything vocally that you guys are like messing up on things. And I think especially for getting warmed up and maybe once you're in a casting position, you're about to start a game, like doing a tongue twister for sure. I can see how that can help kind of set you mentally to be focusing on what you're saying and how you're saying it.
cool.
Let's see here. So I think we had Lemon, do you want to do next map together?
Sure.
Put your security in my hands.
Score 1-1.
Like next map, like this round
Yeah,
coming up, or
we can just do this third one here. Because we are entering this best of 3. There's one more map to go. There's 1-1 blue team and Red Team each have taken a map apiece. Lemon, what do you think now as we're joining here? We're up here in University, so any picks that you call out as being strong in this particular map?
I wish I knew a little bit more about the players to say what they're more able to use, but Fire Mercy have been very effective at sort of taking advantage of the verticality of this middle point, but of course Full Dive going towards the sides of the map can be very effective as well. Triple Tank to just beef up this middle point. Everything can be used if used effectively together, and Reinhardt and Zarya will be the main tanks on both sides. Mora also making her way in the composition for both these teams.
Like you said, there's a lot of ways you can play this map, but it's about where you take the fight. Do you take it in the middle? Do you take it on the side here? As we see Red Team opting to try to come and draw them in through the corridors, and why is that? They have Eerie on the Junkrat here as he lands 2 kills there, so Red Team already getting the kills that they need to hold this point.
Very early kills here for Eerie. Eerie on the Junkrat, who was very effective on the Soldier in the previous maps. Very sneaky Kodak Zenyatta, trying to not be heard or seen. Maybe get a quick right click on somebody from behind. Connecting, but he needs to stay alive if he doesn't want to get staggered. Very surprised he didn't just decide to jump off the map, but nonetheless, he's finally going to get discovered and absolutely destroyed there by Eerie, and it's going to be a reset by him. But Red Team holding both these doorways, as Blue Team will have to decide which one they want to take.
They will decide what they have to take after Cruz comes back from spawn. Matt getting a key pick again. You saw the Zenyatta pick on Kodak, went down very late. We'll stack on top of that another kill here. So Blue still holding at this choke point, just right in front of their spawn, and they don't even have a chance to explore one of these 2 options yet, as they're taking a lot of damage to this Reinhardt shield here, already going to be entering at about 1,000 HP on that shield.
Blue Team finally putting pressure, but it's going to be the Graviton trapping 3 players. Riptide also coming in through the same doorway to push back these players, most likely finding the Zenyatta, but no, the Transcendence does get popped. Rue is going to join him on the battlefield as Matt, see if he can hold his own, is going to take the Zarya shield, but not enough to protect him. He goes down. Finally, the capture in favor of Blue. 63% is what Red has to work with, and of course plenty of time to win that back, but Blue, all the pressure on their shoulders here for map 3.
It looked like a very chaotic fight, but Cruz went down early, but that was enough for the Red Team to think that they could move in, but the rest of the Blue Team staying together and using those ultimates to their advantage in order to win that fight. Again, a little bit sloppy there from Red Team, but they have 4 ultimates here to try to win back the point.
See if they're going to make their way through the side. Look at Matwalk, very sneaky little ninja, having the Deadeye is going to be activated right here. All the ultimates going down. He finds the Reinhardt and Cruz with the trade and the answer back. Cranks. It's the DPS on the field. Even Kodak trying to provide some healing, but Blue wins this team fight. And it's surprising how sneaky Matt was able to find the 2. You would think Red would win this, but it's going to be Cruz's tire that sets Blue apart.
At an ultimate disadvantage, but they use them more effectively there. Cruz coming in with a big rip tire after just all the chaos has erupted there. And so just, it's hard to track those ultimates when you're just in the middle of a fight and you just see all the enemies around you. You're not even looking for a rip tire, but that's exactly what happened. But here, an early pick onto Cruz. Matt is giving an option here for Red Team to push in.
Ooh, Cranks coming from behind. Also on the McCree, the Graviton only trapping 2 players and not enough, as also Vainless on the Moor was able to just provide all the healing possible. Rue in unfortunate position. Matt not able to save that player. He's going to opt to jump off the map and go for the reset, the capture. Back in favor of Team Red, growing to 70%, maybe 1 team fight, but Blue need to be quick and not sacrifice too much time or have any players go down early in this fight, as Cruz is going to go back on the Junkrat to try and spam through these doorways and hopefully not get trapped.
And Red Team here, they want to create some chaos because they have a big ultimate at their back. They have the Rip Tire in the back pocket here, but Eerie is being challenged, but he does have the Rip Tire coming out. What can they find there? No, gets taken out very early by Cranks here, as well as the Transcendence that is going to be keeping topped off here, but Blue aren't even on the point yet here. They're just using all these ultimates just to get onto the point, but now they have the space and they're getting the kills.
And Cruz with the Riptire. Let's see if he can rip one again, and this would be the time that they needed. Of course, now the point is captured. Only 3 players needed to do so, as Red, 99%, now have the pressure on their shoulders. Not too much time to work with, but now not in too much of a rush, as the ultimates, they have the Sound Bearer most likely going to be popped as soon as they're able to get around this corner, put the pressure onto the point, and T-Vic looking for that Earth Shatter is going to hope Rue puts his shield down. Sound Bearer finally coming out for Team Red, and here's the push.
As a preemptive sound barrier for the tire there, but Tvik went a little too far up, and Reverse Earth Shatter won't find anyone, but they've already lost their main tank. Red team now have to bring out that Graviton Surge, and on the backside, Matt trying to look for a Deadeye, but won't find anything. In fact, he will with his Peacemaker here. The reverse Graviton Surge will come out into the point, but now it is just 2v2.
Vainless is able to just teleport right through it. Oh, the Earth Shatter coming in, not able to find anyone, but it's Tvik all on his shoulders to stall this as much as he can, but he has no teammates near him. 99 to 99, it's going to be Team Blue who take this map 3 after very, very, very close here on Oasis.
Score
Such a back and forth fight,
to 1.
and both teams thriving in the chaos, but it just seemed to be just how the wave went back and forth that Blue ended up on top. You can imagine with another couple percent that would have gone back to Red's way, but they're able to win the final match, and that's what matters. The last fight, of course, going into the 99%.
Heading into this next game, we'll have to see what people are really going with 10 seconds left to still make some switches, but Kodak onto the Mercy. Now having this Resurrect, okay, 3 supports, they're going to have to decide, Lucio, Zenyatta, or Mercy. Really doubt they're going to go with the triple support, but now Vainless also switching from the Mora to Lucio, and the triple support, single tank, double DPS coming out. Nope, Tax finally switches to the debuff. That would have been interesting, but too much healing on that part, as Pharmacy from the side of Blue met with the Pharmacy from the side of Red.
If you are going to experiment, definitely do it when you're up on the map score here, but we do see Blue team just saying, you know, guys, let's just win this traditional 2-2-2. We'll get back to it, as Finn is going to be taken to the skies, but taking some direct shots here as both the Pocket Mercies onto the far is going to keep them both alive, as Cranks is just doing a lot of work on the ground, is able to win the ground battle while the air battle goes on above, as finally Finzi will be taking down Eerie above.
Like the positioning out of Finzi to try and help Cranks on the Tracer as much as he can. Finally gets shut down, and that Pharmacy is going to at least take the sides of the map to try and not be the main focus here. Tvik, see if he can find a kill, but it's going to be the counter dive out of Rue to keep these Pharmacy alive. The continued dive from the Winston wants to kill the Pharmacy, but he's not going to be enough as a hero to try and take it down. And seeing on the side of Red, do they have a hit scan? They only have a Tracer and a Winston, so wondering if Matt's going to eventually switch to a Soldier or the McCree. And the same thing on the other side, they don't have a hit scan to deal with this Pharmacy, only the Winstons that can hop into the air and do limited damage.
So they want to win the ground battle first, and that's exactly what we saw. We saw Finzi creating a lot of damage here, and this is going to be the Rocket Barrage finally to try and make an impact on the ground, but they're only getting 1 kill, not exactly the value that he would have wanted out of that, and this is exactly what's happening here. They're able to flip the point, but that entire time, Finzi was ringing in rockets, but it was up to the rest of the team to win the battle on the ground.
Ooh, let's see if Finzi can rocket down Vainless on the Mercy. Oh, the direct rocket just able to find somebody. And Finzi, that would have been an awesome kill to stagger that Mercy a little bit off and maybe get it close to the 40 to 40%. But now heading into this next team fight, you see Team Red opting to maybe go towards this middle map where they're going to met by the rockets of Finzi once he realizes they're going to be taking this middle ground. And Battle of the Pharmacies as the Battle of the Ground will be initiated here.
Pharmacies are above, but a pick happened on the backside of that. Cruz goes down here, but Rape there is able to jump in the front, and this is the battle of the ground that we were talking about. He's very close to going down and needs some healing, as the healer has gone down as well. The self-destruct using a non-optimal place, but still, Red team are looking to flip this point.
46%, still 1 player left to stagger, and it's going to be Cranks. Oh no, and Eerie with the barrage. Didn't think he would use it there, and able to at least pick off the Mercy. And oh, the Fair goes down by the dive from Tvik up in the air, and it's going to be most likely a retake from Team Red. But no, the Transcendence and Rue come right in on time, and even Taxative is able to dive in this corridor area. So Blue still in the fight.
Yeah, with that Transcendence, they're able to bring in the reinforcements, and here comes Rape there with the Winston, able to do a lot of damage. Again, we saw how effective Rape was at occupying the point here. Still holding on to the Primal Rage, doesn't even need it, and the self-destruct will take out Eerie in the sky, so now they can focus on the ground game as they've done so well. Primal Rage just to clean things up.
Tax brought back into the fight, but Blue are clearly in the advantage, 85% and growing. Red have no time to really reset, and that's where the Pharmacy here is going to have to initiate. But all their ultimates that they have is Matt Walk, and you can see he's going to come through corridor, so we can get a lucky pick on most likely their Mercy or somebody important into this fight. But they're not even going to let Matt come through this corridor, and finally the fight will be taken down on the ground, and the The Primal Rage coming in from the side of Team Red. Eerie up in the skies. Kodak with the Valkyrie gets shut down.
Matt's doing so much work here. Took both down supports just solo here as he continues to reign on the point. And now Eerie taken to the skies, getting those shots down. No healing available for this blue team. And so it is just a rocket splash damage or direct hit away from being able to turn the point. So red team with a cap, but again, 99% on the opposite side.
With 2 support ults going into the next fight, blue have all the time in the world. Only they have another 50%. Ooh, Finzi with the early pick there on Matt. And Vainless not opting to resurrect that one. And actually, finally, it does come through. As the battle will be re-engaged here on the point, 6v6. As Eerie, the barrage comes in, picks up Finzi, picks up the Diva. Kodak gets the kill on Eerie and Cranks, trading that up. But Blue not in a position to go into this next fight with the numbers that they have.
Yeah, the Rocket Barrage looked like a really good save there because the blue team wanted to push in off of that pick on Matt. But then again, the other DPS was able to save the day on that. Even Vin here holding onto that self-destruct. Pretty good if you can get the right positioning here. And there we go, trying to put it through, trying to get the bounce off. That's a favorable bounce, and that'll get the kill on Kodak.
Oh, unfortunate for the back line. They'll have to go into this next fight without the Mercy, 91%. As Cruz getting the kill on the enemy Lucio, but it's going to be Finzi in this middle ground. See if he can take down Eerie, and he's just 1 health away. Eerie's able to get away with his life, and oh, the kill feed is all in favor of Team Blue. This should be a retake. Matt goes down. The Fair is the last one left in this middle ground. Not going to be enough. Ooh, but he gets the lucky rocket, able to just reset this overtime just on time. Winston and Tvik here to help lend a hand. Fair going down, but that should be it.
Yeah, really great shots there from the blue team, able to just lift up their soldier and allow him to carry the game on the back of that tactical visor. But it was a little bit of a pick, and then all of a sudden it went all Blue's way there as they cleaned out the supports. Mercy not able to get the res. Mercy, now with the 2-second res, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get the res off in time. I don't know what I'm saying. I was like, I can't say this point fast enough.
Oh, but I think it was important also that Eerie switched to the soldier, finally helping the a little bit of hit scan to deal with the pharmacy up in the sky. And, you know, or was it Eerie? No. Somebody switched to soldier. Fuck off. Anyway, let's go to the next map. I don't know what to say.
Cool.
Welcome.
Cool.
I liked it.
Cool.
I liked it. I tried to be super concise.
I haven't casted Hollywood in forever.
Nice too.
Anyway, no, we can do rotations totally. Do you want to cast with Ham, or do you want me to do Ham?
You can go with Ham.
Winky face.
Winky face.
Winky face.
LOL. LOL. Is this easy mode?
No, now we have to hear the
mode?
Diva 1, bad guys 0.
Winky face. Winky face.
Happy Halloween.
Hello?
No,
I
it's
have to let it go.
What the
Wait,
fuck?
okay, I don't know what that one
That
was.
was May.
Oh.
Amazing.
Freeze!
Amazing.
Don't move.
Sorry.
Sorry. She should be Canadian. Like what? She might as well. She's from the Arctic.
I mean, there is a
Should be-
sizable Chinese-Canadian population, you know, so...
Whoa, teach me, senpai.
What? Wait, aren't you Canadian, though?
Yeah, but I don't know enough about geography or history or anything about anything at all.
Anything about anything, alright.
Oh, I guess we should actually cast. Okay, you can start.
Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are all loaded up on our next map, Hollywood. Team Blue will be defending first. Looks like they'll be going with the tried and true triple tank composition against the dive comp of Team Red.
Attack commencing.
The Ana will be providing all the healing from long range, and Kodak sticking on the Zenyatta like he did in the last one. As the usual, Reinhardt and Zarya from the side of Team Blue, but for full-out dive coming out from the side of Team Red with the Genji Soldier already making it in the back line, picks off the Ana, but he's in a bad position as Roop is gonna just chill on the point, but finally the Diva will give him the rockets.
Yeah, no, an excellent and focused dive from the red team onto the high ground cafe immediately to take down the soldier and the Ana, pressure blue team out of that advantageous position. And you saw Matt Waj was actually set up on the high ground with the Gatorade across from the cafe, 1v1ing the enemy soldier from that position. Great first take from Team Red.
Very quick also, as they I don't even think they used any ultimates. It was too much early into the round to have anything, but Veinless close to the Transcendence, and to use against, they most likely just gonna hold it until Tax gets to Graviton. Early pick, however, onto Tax, as the Transcendence will be popped from the side of Team Red. Maybe a little bit early or preemptively trying to make this payload out of this dangerous area, but a bit early for Transcendence here.
Yep. Very early Transcendence. They do eat a fat grenade from Cranks. However, it's not enough to stop the Team Red push through this streets phase. Finzi was set up as the soldier on the high ground, but he was completely alone, no support from his team, and he was just an easy pickoff. Now we do see some hero swaps coming out from the side of blue, going with a dive composition instead. Crew switching onto the Tracer, Ruape on the Winston, and Xiao on the Diva now.
Yeah, blue team noticing that their Reinhardt Zarya was not effective enough, especially when Eerie made it so easy to go into the backline. You'll have to make sure you watch out for him. Also with the Dragon Blade, is going to be absolutely devastating. And here it is. The Transcendence does get popped out from Kodak to save the few players, but let's see if this Dragon Blade can find anybody else. But it's going to be the rest of the team cleaning up these kills. These two last players here, Vinny and Tapar, is going to have to go for the reset as blue hold this for now.
Yeah, a great swap from Team Blue onto the dive composition. You see now Xiao on the Diva trying to hold this high ground. Much higher mobility heroes, much better able to utilize the verticality of this streets phase. 3 ultimates also on the side of Team Blue. Finzi will be looking to unload this tac visor perhaps after they get Vin out of the Diva mech, which he actually is right now, Baby Diva. Perhaps he'll be using this as an opening, but looks unlikely. Main tank Ruape already goes down, as a sound barrier comes out from Red to just give some more sustain to push further through this streets phase.
And Trace will be caught in a bad situation. All 5 members from Team Red we're going to be noticing that they are not deciding to chase that kill. It's going to be Veinless engaging that one, as the payload will be moving forward. The dive from Roop is going to be all by himself. Diva Bomb going in through the front and picks off the Ana. Interesting. And also Finzi picking off the Diva. So even trades going in. Blue just kind of diving one by one is not going to be the most effective way to stop the payload, but Finzi should be able to win this gunfight against the Primal Rage, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, Ruape tried to go deep dive the red backline, but he was completely by himself, and his team needed him to be here on the front line, providing some shielding. But as I say that, Blue able to hold strong. They take down Tavik with the rockets from Xiao, and Cranks, bloodthirsty Ana, picks up 2 more, and this will be another hold for Team Blue.
Yeah, full reset for Team Red as they're going to be heading into the next fight with Veinless and the Transcendence and Matt Walk and the Genji with their DPS ults. It'll be very interesting to see if Matt Walk's going to decide to take this high ground to sort of go into a counter or just go in a different position to kind of come behind them. But Blue in the ultimate advantage, I guess, having the Diva Bomb in here, using it very early into the fight to distance it off, but Tvik with the Winston bubble able to negate that one. Kodak also with the Transcendence and Cranks just an inch away from the Nano is going to decide what happens in this next fight.
Yes, it will be a question of the tale of 2 support ults now. Trans comes out first from the side of Red. Kodak still holding onto in his back pocket. However, Ruape goes down first. Perhaps he should have popped that Trans a little bit earlier. However, look at these kills coming from the side of Blue. A sound barrier desperation from the side of Red, but Cruz says, no, sorry, that's the end of that push. Cuts down 2 with his pulse bomb, and now on the high ground, they're just going to be looking to stagger out Vinan as long as possible. Great utilization of the ultimates from the side of Blue. Good ult discipline.
And Eerie, I swear I heard him pop the Genji blade and he got killed right away and it didn't reset his ultimate, which was interesting. But still, have to keep an eye on Eerie. He's been trying to find a position behind these players. Red team now speed boosting through the left side, trying to come from behind. Cranks is going to be the only one in the backline, and this fight will take place inside of the bar area. as Hex trying to stay alive on the payload, as Red trying to group up 2 of the tanks on the high ground, looking for somebody to dive, and it's going to be unfortunately the Ana who should be going down into this one, but Rue now is going to be fighting Matt, and it's going to be sort of these single engagements all over the map, but Blue in the number advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Red team was looking to go for this extremely sneaky back cap as an entire team through this saloon, but Blue did sniff them out at the last moment. D.Va throwing her ultimate inside the saloon, zoning away all of Red, forcing them to scramble out of the cover. And then with that, despite the scattered kind of, yeah, like you were saying, 6 1v1s going on in this map, not a lot of team fights going on, but in the end, Blue is able to win out, frags going their way, and 20 seconds left for Red to even touch the point and start overtime.
We'll have to keep an eye on Rue and Finzi. And here comes the tack visor out of Finzi. See if he can find one. Is able to pick off Eerie once again with the Genji blade, completely shutting him down. The payload making its way through as the high ground will be the place of where the fights will happen for Team Red. D.Va Bomb going down, picking up both Cranks and Rue, completely annihilating the forces of Team Blue as the D.Va, the last one left, demeched, and even Cruz on the Tracer is going to be soon to be wiped out. Blue have nothing left. Red finally making some distance with the payload after many failed team fights.
Yeah, looks like Red finally able to get the winning combination, and they push the payload. No! Oh my goodness! Last second contest from Ruape, the nanoed Winston. He slept but immediately woken up. Somebody's going to be kicking themselves over that. The trance also popped from Kodak. Good patience from Eerie to wait for that to go down. And oh my god! Wait, was that? They didn't get it. They C9'd. Is that just what happened?
Oh yeah, that is what happened.
Oh wow!
I was
1 point.
I was not a fan of trying to re-engage that with only a meter left, but the Transcendence making just sort of giving them immortality for the exact seconds they need. The primal nano primal monkey making enough distance on the payload to push everybody from Red back. Even the Lucio Hex was trying to make it back and could not touch the payload, causing only 1 point to go in Red team's favor.
Alas, Vinon, the D.Va, I think they boosted away just at the wrong moment. Like Icarus, they just went a little bit too high, and that was enough run out in that last fight. But amazing utilization of their resources, of the ultimates on the side of Blue, that Winston leapt in there, and even though he was slept immediately, Team Red was so confused they forgot about the objective.
Difficult engagement indeed, as we are going to switching sides. We're seeing the return of Reinhardt, and he's going to be paired up with D.Va rather than the Zarya as we've seen in the beginning of the last one. Finzi, see if he'll stick onto the Roadhog, the self-sufficient, self-healing Pig Master. See if he can get some hooks and attacks. Maybe opting for the Sound Arrow, maybe a little bit too early to decide what their definitive heroes are. Tivik on this high ground can be paired with the Ana and the Zenyatta as of last time. I'll just call him Matty on the Junkrat. Looking for that Junkrat spam on the high ground most likely. Get some early picks, and Eerie with the long range shots. Did amazing on the last run.
Yep, I like this Junkrat pick coming out from the side of the defense. Junkrat is so good for cutting off the routes of any kind of flankers. The Tracer are going to be having a really hard time approaching this point. Also, you notice that Blue is not going to be running a death ball, so very little shield for this team. This Junkrat is going to be able to get all kinds of damage and spam in there. As we're watching him, Matt Waj already up to 60% towards his ultimate. This is going to be a danger for Team Blue to watch out for as they try to push in and make any kind of headway on this point.
Finzi opting to switch to the Zarya rather than the Roadhog. Notice that he got focused down and annihilated within the first 5 seconds of him leaving the spawn. Not going to be enough towards the Junkrat because he's a limited range tank, as Zarya will at least be able to throw some bombs and look for the Graviton as it builds up into the earlier rounds. And Rue sticking onto that Reinhardt to provide as much shield around this corner should be able to win this fight against Tivik, who actually gets pushed back as Tax gets demeched. Waj gets a nice 2.
Yeah, this Junkrat working out so well for Team Red. He already has tire, and all of this spam damage coming in from the side of blue is just going to charge Veinless's ultimate. He already has a nano on board. Easy to combo that with Eerie, who's about to have attack visor, or to Vic, who's close to his own Earth Shatter.
You see how distanced Red are really playing. They got Eerie on this back line, and look, the tire, they're even sending it around the corner. Should be able to get a pick, and actually gets all three. Hanzo, Tracer, and even Anna getting behind the Reinhardt shield.
Oh,
Of course,
goodness.
put a dent into their offense. They'll have to go for another reset heading into the next fight. Tracer Bomb, Cranks with the Nano, and the two tanks close to theirs as well.
Yeah, that was a completely whiffed Transcendence from Kodak. That was a feels bad, man. We all know that Zenyatta feel ult or not ult. Can I save my team members? Will I be popping it too early? Unfortunately, in that case, the tire took out 3 of his teammates. He's going to be wishing he had that trance on right now to perhaps give his team the ability to push in with this huge Earth Shatter from Ruape. An answering trance from Hex, though, coupled with this tack visor from Eerie, taking this off angle is just what Team Red needed to push back blue once again.
2 ultimates needed for Red to stay alive, as the Transcendence and even the attack visor coming in to actually counter the Graviton and pick up 2 kills, as blue looking to regroup, and a Tracer battle going in all the way at the backline will limit the reinforcements for Team Red, as T-Vic gets, oh no, he gets slept right in the middle of the pin, but the Earth Shatter only finding Kodak. It doesn't go down. Eerie now with the Nano should be able to fire down these players coming from the respawn. Finzi close to winning this fight, but it's going to be Eerie that gets this one, as Rue gets a nice fire strike, but now he's the last one on the point, as Tracer Cruz looking to get this kill on the Hex. This is going to be important, and he does.
Oh, a painful last pick onto Hex from Cruz. Really excellent to open up perhaps this next fight for blue. The respawns for the defending team are so long. If blue can push in perhaps with this Transcendence, this could mean the point take for them.
Ooh, Matt with the tire going towards the back line. Zenyatta's his target, but actually gets the Genji. Even better. The Earth Shatter going on the point. Graviton finding 3 players. The Junkrat spam is limiting Finzi from doing any more damage. T-Vic is going to be low. You see how everybody is so spread out. T-Vic should be going down. Matwalk as well. Blue in the advantage. Eerie coming around the corner. Can he at least cut down the supports? He goes down instead, as blue should be able to capture this one. But with 10 seconds left, it's not going to be looking good for the progression for the rest of the map.
Yes, only 10 seconds left to capture this first point, but it looks like Red will be giving it up. A full reset to contest this point after this one choke. A crucial pick again from Cruz to open up that fight in the end. A picks onto Hex the Zenyatta, who has, however, by this time worked up to a trance. So the team fight going the way of Red. No need to invest any of those support ultimates as of yet.
But look how aggressive Red are playing. They are completely in the blue spawn, and even Eerie is trying to take that high ground, deciding to come down and join the fight, join the party into the blue spawn. Rue is just having a hard time keeping the shield up, and even T-Vic with the Primal Rage. Kodak answers back with the Transcendence. Blue struggling to leave the spawn. Finally, Red disengaged. This should be a time to see some progression on the payload, as T-Vic should be going down. Kills in favor of blue. Eerie at least gets one of the supports, but blue should be able to push up this payload, and look how much space they're occupying here in Streets phase.
Yeah, that was an excellent thought from Red to go ahead and spawn camp blue with their ult advantage, force them to use ultimates in order just to leave their spawn. But now, as we open up again in this next team fight, Eerie with the nano boost on him. No tack visor. Oh wait, he has popped tack visor. Yes. Cuts down Finzi and cranks the Ana, falling in the backline for Team Blue. This should be another rout for Team Red.
Cruz, oh my goodness, he little bit of a risky push forward, as gonna be teleporting back and not going down too early in the fight. But Red trying to have all the space around the payload, not letting get any close, even throwing a Diva Bomb right into it. Finzi's gonna absorb that one, gaining a lot of energy, but Rue goes down early in the fight, and that's gonna be the DPS is trying to make something happen in the backline.
Graviton comes out, only captures Vin in it. He is the last member of Team Red. They're not sure if the Blue needed to necessarily invest that Graviton in that fight, but you want to make sure you win it, so and they have. Blue, though, coming back, Red coming back to this defense completely empty-handed against the 2 support ults on the side of Blue. Will the Nano Boost perhaps go on to Xiao? He is a little bit over halfway towards his Dragon Blade. That could be a team-ending fight.
Ooh, the Tracer forcing out Kodak with the Transcendence. Have to keep an eye on Matt Watch as soon as he gets that Pulse Bomb, aiming for one of these support players, especially Kodak, who's actually been fragging out on the Zenyatta. 3 or 4 players left from Team Blue as it's just an inch away from getting this on the payload. T-Big with the Primal Rage. Finn gets demeched. Finzy trying to stay alive, so high energy, trying to get these kills. The Graviton finally coming in, traps the final player from Team Red as no, the roof punches everybody back, not letting anybody touch the payload, and Team 2 wins.
Oh, great Primal Rage at the very end. Ruape just backhands the Ana away from the and Blue slides that in for a map take on Hollywood.
Whoa! Nano. Oh, I'm not gonna say that's inappropriate on stream. Anyway,
Nice.
thoughts, concerns, questions?
No, I think that went a lot better. Ham,
It was really hard to cast.
I think it was very chaotic. I think I have to go back. I want to go back and listen to it again some more. But Ham, I think it sounded like you're a lot more comfortable that match.
Yeah, I think casting with like LaFawn right off, like I haven't ever cast with him before, and maybe we just kind of stepping on each other's feet a little bit. But yeah, that map felt a lot better. I think maybe something that I want to try is like talking like little shorter segments. So like you mentioned earlier, Mushu, we can swap between the two of us more often, because I felt like we're following the pace of the fight and everything really well, but when we talk like in segments that's like an entire fight, it kind of cuts out a lot of the room that for maybe analysis or kind of like the reasoning that the team fight broke down the way that it did. I at least was having a hard time fitting in kind of like the movement of the tanks, or there were a couple of times when Cruz was actually doing a lot of work, like diving the Zen in the back and killing him first, which I wasn't able to fit in. But I think that's just going to be over time, and as I practice and become more concise, I can fit more content into like a shorter period of time.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be important. Is that it's you want to optimize towards being concise, and I think that's what will help fitting in more content, right? I think it's less about, especially with Overwatch casting, each second is very vital. So you want to make sure that you're adding a lot of value to the cast at that time, and so being concise through a team fight or being concise through the analysis, I think is going to be very important, because sometimes what I noticed happening, and even for myself recently, is that analysis sometimes spills over into the fight starting of the analysis of the previous fight spills over into the beginning of the next fight, and I don't think that's a good place to be. You'd rather have already wrapped up the last fight, and at the very least be setting up for the next fight before it happens.
I think at that middle part, it's real. I thought it was kind of hard to build a narrative when I thought every engagement was really important, and I think it probably would have been better if I'd not like saying right now there's nothing we could do, but like in a land setting, when you know what your observer's looking at, like if you're in God mode, then you can talk about every engagement. But if he's in first person, then I could be like focus on the narrative of what he's looking at, because I felt like I was jumping between many engagements, and that's kind of probably bad for the stream. If you're in first person, let's say looking at the Tracer engagement, and I'm okay, oh there's this, okay there's a soldier, there's this, and just how chaotic, like how do you properly cast chaos like that?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like this whole Streets phase was extremely brawly, and I know that these are just scrims, so like the teams aren't playing like super seriously or super coordinated, but it was literally like 6 1v1s, and you have to kind of try to guess which engagement will be most important and to see if you can funnel like the viewer attention there. But yeah, again, I think you brought up a good point. Like if we're watching the same thing that the observer is watching, then that's an easy way to be like, oh, okay, now we're gonna like focus on like the DPS side and worry about the tanks later because this is what the audience is participating in right now. But yeah, like I was just observing in third person God mode, and it was really difficult because there were like six different little fights going on all at once.
Because I feel like if you miss an engagement, then the chat or like viewers will get upset because you're trying to build a narrative on one of the important engagements when there's like 6 1v1s.
Yeah.
How much is it that you're thinking about what people are going to say? Is that an actual concern, or are you just bringing?
No,
it up
I
as an
meant like
example?
because people don't
Twitch
like
chat.
when you miss. No, I don't meant like Twitch chat. I meant like people will see it as like you're missing an ultimate. Like everybody had ultimates, so it's like
Is that
there's not
do you
even
think that's
one
a problem, though?
person. Well, yeah, because you want to show how do I say this? You want to broadcast the entire team fight and the importance of everything, right?
Yeah, I think the difficulty is just when everybody is like literally throwing out every ultimate as they get it online. Like then it's you can say like, oh well, obviously trance is super to like nullify this next tack visor, right? But like he throws out the trance the moment he gets the trance, right? Are you supposed to call attention to it even though it's not necessarily adding much to like the fight on the point right now? Or do you say like, oh, he throws out the trance and it's not really going to do anything, and then when like the guy like tack visors, maybe the tack visor gets something, maybe the tack visor doesn't get anything because uh there's not like a whole lot of coordination. Like do you also call that out, or do you perhaps move on to say a positioning move from like the tanks, or yeah, that kind of thing?
So my take on that is, yes, even if they're all the ultimates up, what is the most important and what is going to be the most impactful one? So in your example of a Transcendence that should be saved for countering a DPS ultimate, that would be huge, right? It's like, Genji going to the back line. If they can draw the Transcendence here, that'll be big to open up for the Dragon Blade here. And the Transcendence will go off, so will he have the patience here to bring out the Dragon Blade? Transcendence goes down, and now is the time. He goes in, is able to find the key picks, right? So it's like, I don't think it's about always calling out every single ultimate as it happens, but understanding what you think is going to be important for that fight.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. I just meant like specifically in that last fight, like
Yeah.
there was very little significance to the ultimates because you would think like, yeah, normally you're like, oh, he should be holding this to defend with his team, but instead he pops it, I guess, offensively to give some more sustain for like the fight that's kind of going on like 4v5 ish right now, kind of sort of on the payload. And so that I think is like the difficulty.
I just had like a super bouncy sort of casting where it's like Eerie had Blade, then he dies, and then I jumped to the Tracer who was at 90% pulse bomb, which is like, one clip or two onto person, then they get pulse bomb. Then there was also a soldier on high ground that had tacked, and you had the Winston who was diving that person. So I felt like, oh my fucking god, like what am I saying? Like what do I, because all of this is super important, and to try and like put an envelope and a bow on all of that, like does casting just turn chaotic when shit gets chaotic? Because like I don't know a proper way to do that.
Yeah,
I think dive is just really hard to cast in general, like dive meta, like dive heroes like Winstons and Divas and stuff.
It's usually more coordinated. Like it's usually all at one spot, not like 6 different places. Like
I think you just have to choose.
Usually, but these
you just have to choose and go with it, because I don't think you can go in expecting that you're going to catch everything. And you're going to hear Doa in one of his interviews talking about when he misses an ultimate, that's something that he's happy about as well. I mean, of course, but he's supposed, he's professional caster. He's been spending a ton of time on casting, but even he misses ultimates. So I think it's not, while you should be working so that you are catching the important story, I don't think you should expect yourself to be able to catch everything, because I think that sets you up for the wrong idea, right? It's like you're thinking about, oh, I have to remember everything that could happen, when in fact I think the approach should be, you should be looking at and getting the right takeaway of what could happen, right? And like understanding and drawing your attention to the right thing, because you have an idea, you have the right idea of what could happen.
Maybe in cases of like really chaotic fights, like if one caster starts going one direction, like following like the DPS, or like, oh, are they able to like, take down the supports or get work done, or say like, oh, what are the tanks doing? Are they zoning effectively, or whatever? Then the other caster can kind of just like agree, and then both people just hop onto that train, because there's like a billion different trains, and if you just both pick like the same train, then you know that you're at least catching like that aspect of the fight. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I
And I
think
think
this
like
is
worst
good.
case, if you miss an ult, you can just like recap it after. Like you focus on something important and be like, oh, and then there was also like attack and a thing, and to like, just recap it after. Mention it briefly that this person also used this. Like they used 4 ultimates or whatever. And you
Mm-hmm.
only focus on Blade and Trans or something.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think after you get some experience, after you see how fights tend to play out and like how it is to cast different scenarios, you're gonna see like what tend to be and yeah, so it's a bunch of things. It's like the player, knowing the player style, like how they've been doing over the match or over the series, the ultimates that are up. You have to start have confidence in your takeaways of understanding the expectation and then just going based on that. I think that's the best way to set yourself up for success in terms of picking the right story.
Okay.
So this is something that I definitely want to delve more into. So I like my original thing of like the Overwatch writing piece, where I started with hybrid pairing. Part 3 I still haven't finished because like I was starting to do interviews and whatnot with people on podcasts, but I think it's a good time now. I've gotten a lot of input from both from Josh, from Medic on casting team fights specifically, and I have a bunch of clips actually that I still have saved from Overwatch World Cup Australia, where I noticed like it was all about casting for understanding, and I think this is very much tied into what we're talking about now. Right? How do you cast to enhance the broadcast as opposed to just be a human kill feed?
Yeah,
And
yeah, for sure.
yeah, so that's pretty much it.
I just felt bad for the spectating because I'm like bouncing around, and
It's
like in that sense, do you just stick on the one person, or do you, when you hear casters go all over the place, do you go in God mode, or
no, when
like
I'm hearing you guys and I'm trying to follow the story that you're setting, but actually I'm having a lot of influence over. I'm looking at ultimates. So when I'm watching a play actually, and when I'm observing, I'm not looking a ton at the first person mode I'm looking at. I'm constantly scanning between the in-game, like if I'm spectating a person's point of view, and I'm looking at the ultimates, and I'm back at the person's point of view, looking at the ultimates, person's point of view, looking at ultimates. If I see, because I'm looking for 2 things when I'm looking at the upper bars, looking at the ultimates as well as the health, right? Because if I see an ultimate and I'm scanning, like, so I'm on this loop where I'm looking, okay, who's going to activate their ultimate, and between the sound cue and then I'm trying to now double check to see that the ultimate has gone down to 0 on the bar above. Then and if I want to swap to that person, like I'll be like, okay, there's going to be on this offensive push, there's going to be a defensive Dragon Blade, right? So there could be one. So if I'm hearing the audio cue, I look up to double check, and I'm already ready to switch to that point of view.
Ah, okay.
So that's what I'm doing as a spectator is, and this is why spectating and casting I think is very difficult, because as a caster you need to focus exactly what you're seeing like on the screen for this person that is in front of you in like constructing that narrative. So I will do less switching, or I'll stay a lot more on one person if I'm spectating and casting at the same time. But as if I'm just spectating though, then I'll be able to be a lot more responsive when ultimates are coming out in order to catch them, or swapping to a person when I think like, okay, I see based on the outline McCree is on this flank and I know he has Deadeye. I might not catch that if I'm casting and spectating at the same time, but since I'm spectating, then I like swap to him. It will finish up with him like sneaking around the corner and then pulling the Deadeye from the back, something like that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I think, like, I swear to God, Eerie popped the Genji blade.
Yeah.
And I think he might have just done a backflip that looks like the Genji blade.
I mean, if he gets killed early enough, the ult will be refunded.
Really?
So,
I thought
yeah.
it was like deleted as soon as you press Q. I thought that was with the new update.
Oh,
I don't play Genji. I don't play Genji because I know as soon as you pop Q as Roadhog, no matter what the fucking animation is, like if you press Q the millisecond you die after, like it's gone. But I was wondering on an observation thing if you saw that or if I'm just seeing shit.
There's different kinds of ultimates. If you search like Overwatch ultimates, I might look this up as well. My impression is that the Dragon Blade also, as soon as it's activated, that it'll not be able to be refunded. But there's one that's called like a transformation ultimate. So if you go into a different mode, say if you're a Bastion and you hit Q, there's this time period where you transform. Let's look it up right now.
You become the tank, and then
transformation.
that's actually a good point. I had totally forgotten about the patch. I know a lot of Lucios were like complaining about it, like not getting sound barrier refunded and stuff. So you have a point. Might be a little bit behind the times.
Okay, let's see here. So,
I don't know if you saw that instance that I was. Do you know which one I was talking about when I was like, "Oh, Eerie pops the Genji blade and dies with it, and then it gets reset."
I didn't see that. I heard you talk about it, and I was like, "Still has the."
Yeah. Because it was in the back line, so if you weren't in God mode, but I was wondering, I don't know. I'm just wondering if I was seeing shit because I don't have my game sound that loud, but I swear I heard it, but. Because I just want to know if that was a mistake or not, because then I'll jack my game sound up to make sure that, like, I'm hearing the fucking...
Yeah, okay. So, Transformation Ultimate, so Bastion, Genji, Mercy, Soldier, Torbjorn, Widowmaker. There's a very small period where it's called, like, they have that transformation period. If you are canceled or killed during that time, it will refund. But it's very, 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 very short. Okay. So anything else, so channeled ultimates, this is stuff that, okay, your hero enters a new mode and render you and your abilities unusable while active. Meteor Strike, Deadeye, Barrage, Death Blossom, Whole Hog, Transcendence, those all you'll just lose it. Right? But then also there's another one called Cast Time, which is where, like Anna's Nano Boost, Dragon Strike, there's a period of, where you're like casting the ability. There's a period of time as well. If you get killed during that time, you'll lose it. So this is the one that actually a lot of people have a problem with right now, because it looks like a projectile or you're doing some action. So like Mei could throw out a blizzard, but if it's during that animation period, even if the projectile like leaves and actually like in the game and like falls to the ground, you die, your blizzard doesn't.
You don't get anything.
Yeah, so that's the one I think there might be some changes, is these Cast Time ultimates. So that's Graviton Surge, Nano Boost, Self-Destruct, Dragon Strike, Rip Tire, Sound Barrier, stuff like that.
I do have to leave, though.
Okay.
Is there any final things we should talk about the last cast, or...?
Yeah, so Lemon, I think we were talking before about like what's something that you can actually work on. I think it's still, I would say, on the polish side. I would go back and listen to the VOD, and I think for the next step for you, I think your timing and your pacing and everything, you have a command over that, and it's just about like you being focused and to be able to like be the best, to cast in the best way that you can. Like you definitely are like, really
just the right, more polish on the sentences that sound more smart.
I think what goes into that though is like we were talking about, there's certain casters that have this mystique about them because of the way that they're able to paint that picture and almost the variation. It's just a performance, right? You listen to them and you're like, holy shit, like how are they so good at
sounds
speaking?
Scripted. Yeah
Exactly. And so I think getting to that point, there's a couple things. Well, like you sometimes will laugh during if something absurd is happening, or I think it's totally fine every now and again, but it's something that actually I think takes away a little bit from your casting. Like if someone lands a really good ultimate, if you're like, Reinhardt lands a huge Earth Shatter on the back, like it sometimes feels like you're actually accentuating more. But I would listen to it again, and for me, as I was listening to it, it took a little bit away, I think, from that moment for you. You're coming in with more like gravitas, and it's just like more emphasis on exactly what happened. Like this was huge, as opposed to this was huge, right? Like I think both of them can get people hyped, but in terms of
wait, can you say them again? I zoned out for a second.
Okay. So I was saying one moment, it's like that Earth Shatter was absolutely huge for red team.
Okay.
Versus like that Earth Shatter was huge for red team. Here I'm like almost laughing and trying to emphasize at the same time at the second one. I don't know if I like the second one as much, because I feel like sometimes if you go overboard with kind of the laughing-ish portion of it, I think it can really take away from that
Yeah,
moment,
because
right?
it's
It
not
pulls
as
you out of it.
serious, you know.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Hello,
I think
friends.
Yeah, because I think I say it a lot during Primal Rages. I'll be like,
Oh, it's Chopsky.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
hey!
Oh, hello.
What's
Oh,
up?
hi.
I actually just saw everyone was online in the
Yeah.
chat and decided to join, and then you were all having a very good discussion, so I didn't want to interrupt. But I do actually have something to say on this part.
Yeah.
So if you ever watch Rivington Cast League and what he does with his hosting, it's something that you'll definitely see that I do well through some of my interviews and then fail at for the other. And it's what Moosh is talking about with the sense of gravitas and almost sounding scripted. Yeah, and it harks back for me to like music and the way that when you're singing something on stage, you're playing through this almost rehearsed set of things that you're going to say and delivering it with a sense of force and a very specific intonation and whatnot. But when, I don't know, especially when I'm like interviewing and things, especially if the banter sort of starts to go back and forth, then it becomes, I guess, a bit more ad hoc and things. And yeah, so I mean, a lot of that just comes from repetition and recasting things so that you can get these predefined movements and flows that you want to actually get through. And it's actually funny listening to Moosh's 2 renditions of how the ultimate was huge, because especially if you listen to a lot of the I don't know, not Apex, but some of the Pacific leagues and the stuff that D-Man and co were casting, they did actually do both of those. So you get some really good examples of when each of them are appropriate.
So would you recommend, like, I have like a list of like phrases and stuff. Do you think it would be a good idea then just to like get your voice accustomed to saying those phrases in like the right way, just like say them over? Think of different situations where you would be getting excited about like a grav or something and just saying it the way that you want to sound like.
Like pre-script something?
Yeah, not so much on the actual words that you're going to say, but the delivery, like the way that you actually want to carry that through. Because, I mean, it's always good to have those backup phrases that you have practiced so that you can drop into them when you realize that there's a thing that needs to happen. But it's almost, if you understand how the delivery is supposed to go, then the words that you're actually saying kind of don't matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it ends up mentally, in order to prepare for all of this, you almost have to run a buffer in your head. So like when you're talking normally, you're not really thinking about what you're going to say next. You're just kind of saying things and then words are coming out like I'm doing now, and it's kind of just meandering from topic to topic. But if you're starting to think about what's coming ahead, then you've got this plan for all the things that you're going to say, and they're all going to come out in just the right order with just the right intonation, and then they pull the ultimate down and they've taken the point. So, and it's entirely this weird little mental thing that you just build up a couple of words, and it takes a lot of practice to kind of fill and empty that buffer to make everything sort of flow and go through there. Because once you've got those crescendos, when you know that you're going for a peak or for a kind of plateau or whatever the moment is, if you plot out what kind of moments exist and get your intonation, delivery, and patterns right for it, then the words will kind of come naturally.
Oh, I see. So you don't ever want to sound like you always want to sound like emotionally prepared, I suppose, for the next phase of whatever you're saying. You don't want to sound like you're caught off guard, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And this is something that like tilts me super hard with especially with a lot of LCS casters, is that they fall back to just these tired phrases like games on a knife edge. Like if I hear that one more time, I'm gonna just throw my TV into the bay. Because it's so played out. Like there are so many ways that you can say that something is close, and their delivery for it is spot on, but it's the same every fucking time. So yeah, avoiding just repeating those things. Like when you're talking about like where a game is at and where the actual sort of flow of the match is going, and it's a good idea to have those fallbacks too. Like what was this team composition designed to do? What was the strength of this team? What was the weakness of this team? What was their win condition, and how do their actions contribute or not contribute to achieving their win condition?
Right.
Like that's my go-to. If I don't know what to say, let's revisit the game state from the start.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I don't think. I think it's a good idea to, rather than practice the same actual phrases over and over again, practice the moments with as many different phrases as you can.
Oh, okay. Oh no, yeah, that's what I meant. But like practicing like the intonation, because I know personally I have a big problem with phrases that end with a tone of finality, because I am always afraid of calling a fight wrong, so I try to end with like this upward inflection so that I can kind of sort of, I think that I'm
You're trying
leaving
to leave
myself
room
room to
open.
correct myself
Yeah.
afterwards, but it just sounds uncertain.
Yeah, I'd rather you finish with confidence there, and this is gonna come with more time. Like I mentioned, I think you have a lot going for you already, and like given how little you've actually casted, I'm very impressed. Sure. So yeah, definitely aim
is
more
that you,
towards
Mushu?
confidence. Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
okay.
They started up a game, so I was
Yeah,
just like.
I'm
thinking
actually
that
in
I'm
the
not
game
watching
as
the
well.
Discord.
This is hilarious. They just like filled up the lobby again. So Chopsky, Nuki is like has been organizing Pro Pugs and EU, and so we were just sitting in lobby like after the last game. We thought it was all over, and then they started filling up the lobby again. So we're looking at a game on Dorado right now. Lemon,
Awesome.
are you still there? Right?
I have to go.
Yeah,
But I was just
figured.
wanting to take these last couple points. I have to go watch football with people.
Ooh.
Hardship.
Yeah, I just wanted to put one more thing. The master of that thing that you're talking about, of ending the tone with finality or trying to leave an open door, Pastry Time and Officio, Pastry Time and Quickshot from the league side of things are fucking masters of changing the story as they go, because they thought someone was going to die, but then they got away. Or they thought they were going to get away.
Chef.
Pastry Time.
Pastry time.
I will try and find some clips for you that illustrate it, but yeah, those two are my two to watch for pivoting mid call.
Yeah. I feel like League is like super different from Overwatch casting, but I'm sure there are like lots of, especially just in terms of tone and kind of the atmosphere they create, a lot of things carry over. So I definitely want to check them out. Pastry time.
Yeah, I mean, I started League way before I started playing Overwatch, but I started casting them both at the same time. So a lot of the stuff that I guess I've learned through casting has been applied to both of them in various different ways through, I guess it's using the same tool set for a different goal.
Yep.
So I find all the League stuff definitely helps with Overwatch and vice versa.
Okay.
I think what League does really well, and just you're forced to this by the pace of the game, is that you need to really make sure that you're staying engaging, right? I think in Overwatch it's easy to think that if you continue talking all the time that people are going to be listening to you, but keeping up like just being shouty or just being like a human, the human kill feed is just not something that was engaging at all. And I think it's easy to think that it can be, because of just the pace of the game, that it's just a lot of action going on, you can keep talking, but that's just
heavy.
That's not the thing.
Yeah, I remember I read your article on varying the vocal tone and and the example that you had with, I think it might have been like Leo's and Papa Smithy or somebody in Apex, basically literally screaming the entire last third point push of somewhere, but this is like, a third point push. Took like a minute and a half, and so the trying to maintain that same level of excitement, quote unquote, and just by saying more words was really fatiguing, right?
Yeah, it made it tough to listen to. I really understand what is actually important. I truly think that's the fundamental reason of the fundamental importance of vocal energy, is to tell very quickly the audience what is actually important going on right now.
When are the next practices? So I gotta hop out.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it's
tomorrow, I guess.
So I will actually be out of town for the rest of the week here. So if you guys are down to practice, if someone is down to record or produce, I can arrange for scrims to be casted.
Yeah, I can attempt to spectate if we don't have Pimp or Lafon or whoever, or even Chopsky if you're down.
Wednesday we have Midweek Madness for Overwatch University League. I will not be able to produce or Pimp in the crib. So if one of you guys are down to try to produce for that, or we'll see if I can find another producer, we might need casters as well on Wednesday. So that will be at either 5 p.m. or 6 p.m.
Ben Viglo, he said that he could produce.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's I definitely want to get you guys onto the Discord for Overwatch University League as well. I really want you guys to to get you some time casting on that as well. There's a lot of I think it's just a really good spot to. We need casters. We need people who are going to be steady and people who are looking to improve. And I think you guys have obviously, shown and done a lot of work already. Just this past week, we've had like 4 times that we've gone on stream or recorded. So.
Yeah. I've actually already joined that one, and I was gonna say I have a team that scrims on Tuesday in the evening. So if nobody can find a scrim, I would definitely be able to happy to supply one.
Okay, cool.
But I guess
Cool.
it's the caster interest. So
Yeah, just post it, and then we'll have other people join if they're interested.
okie dokie.
Okay, bye guys.
All right.
All right, bye. Have fun.
So cool. Topsky, actually, I'm streaming right now on Broadcast.gg or Broadcast.gg Twitch. We could. Ham, I'm still down to do some practice if you're down, since we're already in a game.
Sure. Yeah. Let me actually. I said that I didn't have like a hard time cutoff, and I
Okay.
don't. I had already. I had told a team who's like scrims for like 4 hours that I would be there for the early set. I can always be there for their later set.
Oh, up
So
to
let
you.
me
Doesn't
just.
matter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think this was like. I mean, I would love to work with you more and have like
Sure.
be able to get your feedback. So just give me a moment. Let me get in contact with them. Tell them that I'll be there for later tonight instead.
Topsky, how's the rest of E IEM?
Amazing. Holy shit, PUBG is gonna take over Counter-Strike. It just is. What? Like, man, oh god. Like, you think it's tense watching 2 CS teams face off against each other? Wait until there's 20 of them. Like, it was just phenomenal. Really good. The other thing I was going to say was I invited and tagged him in the Discord before, John.
I saw that. Yeah. Who is that?
That is John Koob.
Oh.
He is the media coordinator for Battlefy.
Oh, nice.
And he actually used to cast basketball games in college. So
Nice.
he was a color caster and a commentator for college ball. So he's so along with his insight into tournament organization and broadcast, he's actually got some casting ability. So I thought he would be a pretty good fit in there. So you should I think he's followed you on Twitter, so I would make an effort to get to firm up that relationship, because he's going to be a good resource going forwards, because they're a pretty small team and they're pretty agile. So if you guys say, hey, we've got fucking 6 leagues here that all want to use your ship, but we need this feature, they'll go at it. So
Awesome. Yeah, I think we tried to use. I'll have to check out what we used for Overwatch University League last season, but we had a lot of issues with all the scheduling. But I think it was just in terms of how we did the signups, like we imported the teams themselves, and then sometimes people, their Battlefy accounts or whatever account it wasn't getting linked, so we had to enter in some scores manually and whatnot. But anyways, do any small details, I'll check that out. And Battlefy worked really well this weekend too when we were showing the bracket.
Hell yeah.
Expanding the pixel capture area did the exact trick, and it was great, except for there was like a little bit of a like how you have the zoom in and out controls, the flash controls, that we weren't able to access, but it didn't block too much, so it was definitely serviceable, and probably it was really good for showing the bracket.
hell yeah, that's awesome.
Did you get to see any of the broadcast? I'm guessing that was during the entire time of the IEM, right?
No, I actually ended up having like a complete clusterfuck of a day. I didn't even get to IEM until like 1 o'clock, like 1:30 after it started.
Oh, okay, wow.
So I didn't get to see any of what you guys did, unfortunately.
That's all right.
But,
yeah, I'm going to be making clips anyways, and I think in terms of production, we were able to do a lot of really cool stuff, so I'll be showing that through some of the clips there. But Nate was really great. I basically put him on director, and then he was running soundboard and kind of just running the show in terms of like telling our observer what to do. So yeah, it was really great, and I think we had some time with another caster from Art University. So yeah, he has improved a ton. Definitely a long way to go, but it's cool to bring in the local peeps as well.
Yeah. Hey, don't we all? No, that's awesome. All right, I've actually got some stuff I want to knock out before I head home. So I will leave you guys to it. But just thought I'd drop in and say hi and add something.
Okie dokie.
I see.
Thanks. I really
Alright.
appreciate your input.
Oh, no, thank you. That's cool. I just saw a cool conversation, a bunch of people that I know in a conversation, and went, I want to be in that conversation. So, but yeah, nice to meet you, and I'll talk to you later.
I go
All
see
right.
Chelsea.
Have a good
Bye.
night.
Attackers incoming in 30
All right. Cool.
Back in game.
Yep. Back in game.
Okay. Because we have on this blue side is going to be Team Blue. And on red.
That's right.
Of course, we did see this push get stalled out right before the finish there, but very, very close. Team Red here looking to defend now. They're bringing a death ball composition.
5, 4, 3,
Yep. Blue was showing a very unusual tank pick. Originally, Vinon was on the Orisa, but now they're going with a more tried and true dive composition. Cranks on the Tracer, Ultra Speed, showing the Genji. For supports, they will be running Zenyatta as well as Mercy on the side of Blue. Red, looking like a death ball, as you said, going for no Mercy this time, instead going with the Zenyatta and Lucio. As the fight breaks out, Red will be looking to hold behind the choke rather than taking this high ground approach. Hopefully it'll suit them quite well.
See Ultra Speed trying to poke in from above here as the payload starting to push past the choke point, and Team Red giving a lot of space here, and they're just watching for the flanks here. And you see the D.Va coming in on the side. That's going to be Vin trying to pop in, and Snilly will be taken out too on the side of the blue team. So here we'll see if they're able to keep everyone up with those reses, but Ultra Speed full fall again, and Cranks again after being rezzed here. So red team will push back out through the choke point. They gave up a lot of space, but they got the kills, and they'll be able to hold.
Yes, exactly. The Team Blue is running a Mercy, so able to res out any of pick mistake boo-boos. However, against the composition of a Junkrat McCree, the lack of shielding from Team Blue could be hurting them. John the Junkrat we saw in that left side mini room just firing away unimpeded, doing a lot of work for his team. But now as the fight breaks out again, will Team Blue be able to dive this Junkrat effectively? Tire comes out though, and the answer is going to be no. Huge kills coming out from both of the DPS on the side of red, and that'll be another stuffed push for blue.
Tivik stayed alive though, so that's going to be 2 reses back here, but Sound Barrier will be keeping everyone on the red side topped off, but we can already see Tivik starting to drop back, trying to bring back the rest of the team. They know that might have been a little bit preemptive with the Valkyrie, so Tivik will be heading back, likely to swap onto another support.
Never stop fighting.
As you say that, perfect predictions. Tivik swaps onto the Ana, going to be giving a lot more burst healing for his team. Also, he's going to be a lot less vulnerable himself, more able to keep to 1v1 attackers, keep himself alive in the background. Team Red though, Big Goose does have a Graviton online. Vinon on the D.Va does have the chance to eat this. Otherwise, it's going to be a huge team wipe fight if the Red chooses to throw it into this engagement.
Transcendence is already out though. Ultra Speed will be going in now on with that Dragon Blade, but gets caught up inside of that Graviton Surge, so will be wiped out completely there. But the point is still pushing here. Both tanks still alive for the blue team. Pushing back Big Goose on the Zarya was quite charged, but again, not contesting the point as they will cruise into point 1.
Yeah, excellent ult usage from Hedon. He knew that Big Goose had the Graviton in reserve, waited, popped his trance at the perfect moment. The grab only caught one member of Team Blue, but the trance was able to save their lives and help them push this payload into point A.
Into that adjustment seemed to make a big difference. Don't know if it was quite the Ana healing there, but we saw the opening from Niwar on the Winston jumping into the back line and just completely mixing things up. They're able to draw out the Transcendence. They're able to draw out that Graviton Surge, and that's what they needed to get those ultimates out of the way on the defense for them to make way. And here comes a self-destruct. Won't find anything, but keeping pushing Red off of this high ground.
Exactly. Red looking to hold onto this high ground. Vinon, the D.Va looking to zone out the Lucio. The team a little bit spread all across this payload. The kills falling fairly evenly, but as I say that now, Blue able to clean up with these frags. Pog, the Reinhardt on the side of Red going down in the end as Cranks and Ultra Speed clean up the 2 supports, and that should be the payload making even more easy time through streets.
And still holding on to the Nano Boost. A lot of options here for blue team. Putting it on to Ultra Speed, who almost up to that Dragon Blade. And a nano boosted Genji with the Dragon Blade is something to be feared. Ultra Speed trying to cut away with the damage, but that's going to be even a kill from the Biotic Grenade there. Supportal combat. Tivik taking out Kodak on the other side as we see Niwar now jumping into the backline, but hold on. That's going to be Snilio with the Deadeye. What can he find there? No, it has to come back. This Primal Rage is going to be knocking him back all the way back to his spawn.
Oh, that was a feels bad. You saw that Snillo was trying to get a huge Deadeye going on this long flanking route to go behind the team possibly, but he's immediately batted away by the Primal Rage of Niwar. Great use of these ultimates to get more free push. This payload slides easily into point B, and Blue, look at this, 4 ultimates to their name, cranks almost up with a Pulse Bomb as well. A lot of tools in the bank to make an easy time on third. Again, remember, Blue does not need to push all the way merely to this golden box of victory to bring home this map.
Yeah, Cranks, though, spending a lot of time on the flank, tried to find the Pulse Bomb, but missed the stick while the rest of the team was getting chewed up on that corner. So they're going to have to back off here. Cranks still behind enemy lines, just crouch, sneaking around to not be heard.
John with his supports holding this middle island high ground, an excellent positioning for this soldier. He's nearly at back visor. Snillo with yet another high noon earned. If the 2 of these DPS on the side of red can set up some kind of crossfire, this is going to be Team Blue walking into a shooting gallery.
Yeah, Blue wants to push in. Yes, they have the ultimate advantage, but they got to find the kills here, and John is sitting up high and could be pulling attention away from Snilio, who has the Deadeye yet again. We gotta watch for where this Deadeye is gonna be popped here, but that's gonna be a good start here. Niwar will take out Snilio with the initial jump in.
Trans coming out from Hedon to provide more sustain for his team as the Zoni Diva Bomb finds Ultra Speed and connects. The fight breaks down on the point. Primal Rage coming out from the red Winston to bat away the rest of Blue. Takes down Tivik just as icing on the top. However, Niwar, the blue Winston, is able to answer back. Trades falling very evenly on both sides. However, John does still have this tack visor in reserve if he's going to use it to clean up this fight, and he does. Not sure if that was 100% necessary, but when you're defending, you want to make sure that you have 100% won that team hold. And red holds again.
Yeah, it seems like it would have been a good thing to hold on to that, but if you look at that ultimate charge, they're going to be equal now, and what wasn't an ultimate advantage here is now a disadvantage, but Blue team looking to move in very strongly here. Pag trying to hold strong, is able to contest here, but has to deal with this Tracer in the back line here, and even just has to stay alive, so will go down, having to jump around here, buying time for the team. The rest of the red team able to reinforce here. John just trying to control the upper ground here, but they're starting to lose bodies on the point and the tank up front.
Thank you.
Yeah, Vin, the diva on the side of Blue, putting in all kinds of work, flying up to the high ground and solo assassinate 2 of the side of red. Just Snillo's Deadeye in the tank for the defending team as the Transcendence comes out from Hedon. Blue pushing strong and finding the kills too. Niwar, Primal Rages Snillo to death. No Deadeye for you. What time is it? It is Blue team winning time. Making it all look easy. Blue pushes and takes Dorado.
Red team held on to those DPS ultimates, but they weren't able to be used in an effective spot because they just got jumped on. I mean, that was Dive completely pulling the rug out from under their feet for red team.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Cool.
Oh man, I'm yawning so hard.
Nice. Let's see here.
Traveling to Eichenwald.
I don't know. How'd you feel?
I think it definitely felt a lot smoother than previously. I think I still could work better though, and carrying the emotional story, I suppose, not just the content of like the words. Also, I completely noticed what you mentioned earlier, that I don't set up for the next fight very much. I felt like I was often ending the fight and then giving you all of the setup work in addition to leading into the first bits of PvP. So I'll try to leave something a little bit more open next time.
I think that's totally fine. I think the reason why I like hybrid is because I think Overwatch casting should be a lot about the conversation, and actually hybrid was first introduced basically to support Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is one of those games that in an instant everything can change, right? Like you can have a 1v3 situation, but all of a sudden 2 people walk up and get headshotted by an op, and it completely changes the game, right? So I always advocate for hybrid pairing because it allows for the flexibility for people to be having a conversation and for the casters to not necessarily have just like a very concrete roles that only person can talk during the action, and when it's not the action, the other person talks. I think while all casting is not about that, I think Overwatch is even further away. Like you could get away with that in League of Legends, but you absolutely can't get away with that in Overwatch because your play-by-play person will just be dead. So I think I really liked it. I think it's just about I feel like you're a lot more concise in terms of what you're talking about. So I think just keeping focus on that even through this next game will be a good thing to do.
Okay, for sure.
Good stuff, yeah, because we'll be watching Red Team moving in here on the attack. See if they can do a better job here setting the pace on this first push, and it'll be starting off quite well. Taking out the Junkrat from the defense. That's a good way to start off your offensive push.
Yes, Red Team plowing through the defense. John was able to get an early pick onto the Junkrat out of spawn, but after that stuck his neck out just a little bit too far, and what a fatty helix. Damn, takes down both support members on the side of blue at once. That is what we call efficiency. An extremely fast point cap take for Team Red. Incredible.
Junkrat is such a crucial part to holding this early defensive hold, and so having a Junkrat be able to find the damage onto the counterpart, John Cena unfortunately didn't see it coming. Will go down for it, and even eliminating the steel trap here. Ultra Speed is playing pretty well here through this first point, but blue team starting to push up and challenge very close.
Yeah, fights going back and forth. There's a brawl right in, before this portcullis. Blue team does not want to give red even an inch of easy progress. They're making them fight for every single millimeter. And as Niwar, the red Winston, goes down, will Team Red back off at all for a more established push? Nope, doesn't look like it. Blue disengages wisely. They're down members as well. They're going to reset for a high ground, more traditional high ground defense here. Big Goose holding this tower with the Diva. However, convertible Snillo, goes down at the hands of his counterpart in Cranks, and that's going to mean blue backing off a bit, playing a little more defensively.
Looks a little bit aggressive there, as we do see now this is going to be Ultra Speed bringing out the tire, and we'll take a convertible down here. So good opening, but blue team able to get that early stagger, and it could be useful here as now they're pretty much contesting where they would have been contesting anyways, but now they killed some more time here as they will continue to find the push and find the flank. Having your rip tire, using your rip tire there on the attack is definitely a good call, but unfortunately it took away a lot of time for that damage. They really needed it around the point, so even though they got the pick on the Lucio, they lose the overall battle.
Yes, exactly. There is an answering Junkrat tire that found Pater on the side of the defense, but in the meantime, Snillo on the high ground, 76, was put in way more damage, and Red just could not hold in the face of that overwhelming DPS. Now moving on into the next fight, Blue sitting pretty with 5 ultimates to their name. However, Vinon does have a Graviton Surge. If Red can loop around to this high ground and utilize it to grab most of the blue team, it could work out. A trance comes out on the side of Red on the ground, but there's just a Diva stalling the cart. Not sure if that was 100% necessary. Red just looking to see if they can shove the payload through this choke, not really taking the fight on the high ground to blue as of yet as this fight continues.
So this is going to be Coalescence coming out here, but then jumping on the back line is going to be the Winston, as well as the self-destruct now. The red team is totally scattered, and then you can see now here comes the Graviton. They're waiting for the blue team to jump in, and they'll be able to capitalize that, getting 2 kills here as just the tanks are left for blue.
Yes. Red running empty in terms of ultimates. Niwar does have the Primal Rage left to stall the point if necessary. Oh, my bad. Red is attacking. Oh, goodness. Anyhow, it is the Lucio convertible who is stalling the payload at this last second. He does have the sound barrier ready, though, if blue will wants to re-engage for this last second point B contest. John also has the Rip Tire, excellent for swinging the team fight in his favor if he can manage to find a pick in this back. But as you see in red, Hedon and Cranks hanging very far back. They know the threat that's coming out, and the tire is taken down. As the fight devolves on the point, Primal Rage is popped on the side of the attacking team, batting away people. And can Snillo contest? He can. John, the Junkrat, comes out as well, finds Pater as Winston goes down.
Vic's going to be bringing out that Coalescence yet again here, and that's going to be the damage, and just she's so good with this ultimate to be able to swing fights in the favor when they're on just the edge. Could go one way or the other, and so that's going to be the win there. But no, Big Goose will be taking out Moria off the edge there, but Ultra Speed continues to do work on the point. Blue team here need to stabilize if they want to hold before point 2.
Yes, a big whole hog comes out to try to push away the members of Team Red, but both sides are trickling badly, and the fight is going very evenly in the and the defense need to have a solid re-engage as a team, otherwise this trickle is just too weak. Snillo takes down Hedon as Hedon dinks him in turn, and that will mean a point B capture for this attacking team. The defending team just not able to find a solid regroup as a 6-man.
Ultra Speed's ability to stay alive through the fights has been saving this attacking squad on the red side here, and so has been cashing in on a lot of last-minute kills or just low kills, and able to get that dash reset to increase the damage here. And as they're pushing to the last point, they have a big ultimate. Vin used a very, very good, well-placed Graviton Surge in order to group up the team in order to kill the squishies here, so we'll see where Vin puts it down.
Oh, an early orb takes out John the Soldier, though. This is crucial DPS cut down from the defending side. Vin still with this Graviton in his back pocket. Crucially, there is no Diva on this blue side. This Graviton will find Pater if it doesn't get reflected. There's also no Genji. So things looking extremely dire for this defending team as the payload thunders into third. Will they be able to touch to start overtime? Snillo dashes onto the point.
That's going to be the Primal Rage coming out, but that Monkey is getting absolutely melted from all the damage here. Coalescence as well as the Transcendence together, but Vin will get taken out from a stuck Pulse Bomb there, so that's an unfortunate pick there. But Ultra Speed says, don't worry, fam, I got this on the point, as the DPS and the rest of the team are able to clean it up. Red team will finish point 3 on Eichenwald.
Yep, a masterclass in strong ultimate usage from the side of Red. Easily take this first round with 3 points on Eichenwald.
Entering that fight, it looked like they only had one ultimate, but again, a couple ultimates came out in reply for the rest of the red team to respond to that, and even that Graviton Surge coming out relatively late there to contain all the contesters onto a known point, and that is just so crucial as the attackers to know exactly where the enemies will be when they're contesting, because then you can just know exactly where to aim to dump your damage.
Focus fire is the name of the game on most of these third point pushes on hybrid and escort maps, and that Graviton just sealing the deal for the red team in that last round. Opening up though in round 2, it will be red with their chance to defend, and Blue's chance to see if they can maybe put an even better time than 1 minute and 45 seconds on the clock.
All things considered, though, I mean, the stall went pretty well for how quickly the first point was taken. I mean, they're able to stall at a bunch of different places there, and again, that ability to stay alive for Convertible occupying space on the point on that first defense, and John was able to rein in the damage from the back. So, I mean, 1 minute and 45 seconds is definitely doable to be able to beat here. But we'll see if blue team are going to fall for the old Junkrat trick. See the trap and the mine, the spawn.
Exactly. Both teams not showing any mercy from either side, but instead going with the dueling Moiras. Red, though, preferring to go with a Zenyatta. Blue going with the Lucio. Both teams, however, running similar tank lines, Zarya, Reinhardt. No early opening kills from the side of Red, as damage is traded from both sides across this point. Snillo likely dashing in, looking for any kind of purchase in the Red backline. But it's Pog, the Reinhardt from Blue, falling first.
Ultra Speed has found his way using the mines to reposition and get over the choke point there, so they weren't able to even hold this for Team Blue. Ultra Speed here, just kiting around here. They have them backed into this left side, so they're not able to contest on the point, but they need to be able to get the kills here, as the red team has kind of scattered in order to have this defense, but it looks like slowly but surely they should be able to hold.
Yes, red team now with the respawns coming, respawns for the red team should be coming in soon now. Blue has built up a significant point presence. Cranks, you see on the Soldier 76, trying to put in some damage for his team, but he's not willing to jump onto the point himself. With the tanks from Red gone, it is going to be, looks like this fight should be, yes, exactly, sorry. Looks like this fight should be going in the way of Blue. They capped this first point nearly as fast as Red did.
You saw the way that John Cena used the mines to move over the choke point and get all the way past and to the left side. And so that drew the intention away for the red team to be able to defend. It was so hard to defend just a multi-front push when you're set up to be able to work from one direction. They're just able to scatter around completely as Niwar finds himself a little bit far up, puts down the Earth Shatter there, but is only able to find the Reinhardt and won't even be able to get a kill to his own name, as Snelio continues to do work here on the ground here, as trying to win out on this 1v3.
Yes, the question will be, will this one Tracer's heroics be enough? However, he is cut down in his prime by a Helix from Cranks. However, Blue not looking to back off at all. They continue to push through this choke point. Snillo, a Tracer, really easy for him to catch up with the rest of his team as they continue to make progress. Tactical Visor popped in conjunction with this Graviton Surge, as the counter Graviton Surge also comes out. Oh, whoa! No, Jesus, that was a fatty shatter. A 3K completely destroys the red team. This is exactly what Blue needed. The first red Graviton got literally nothing, even though it was used with a Tac Visor. The second one, finding the ult coordination much better. Blue able to land that tire with that grav. Excellent use of ultimates.
Great combination there, and like you said, the counter grab seems to be that the second grab here wins the day, as they're already pushing this point all the way across the bridge. But now red team coming out with force, bringing the dive straight to the blue team, so they will get split up here and will surely fall. Red team will stabilize just before the second point.
Is exactly red looking a little bit more split on this second streets push. However, they are able to stabilize out. Ultra Speed does have a Dragon Blade ready at hand. Hedon with a Transcendence. This could be what red needs to buy even more time off the point.
Yeah, they're going to be jumping straight in, though. That's going to be Ultra Speed bringing out the Dragon Blade, but no, we'll get taken out by Big Goose, so this could be the slight overextension here, but red team here just trying to hold this defense. This Monkey is doing so much work in the back line. It's going to be Primal Rage, and he's got him in the hallway here. He will get pinned, but this is a lot of attention being drawn to just one player here. This is a whole another 5 holding the point, as the point is not being pushed at all right now.
Exactly. Excellent utilization of just one ultimate to shave so much time off of the clock from Niwar, the red Winston. You did see, though, Vinon, the diva, got a little bit caught out and she was demeched. However, nobody from the blue team was paying attention to the payload except Snillo, and he 1v3, even as a Tracer, was going to fall.
Cranks with the Tactical Visor will be able to make sure the blue team will not be able to ingress here through this choke point. Again, at this door seems to be a huge problem for them to be able to push after red is able to push it back here. But 2 ultimates on both sides, but 2 support ultimates on the side of red. Whereas you can see, oh, what is this?
Oh!
Uh-oh. That is the back cap.
Oh man, this is C9 before C9 was cool. This is like Mendoku-sai bringing in the payload solo way back in the day in like MLG Vegas or something like that. An incredible back cap from, did you see who that was from?
This is a Tracer from the blue side, so Snilio on the attack. Great job sneaking around, and just, I guess no one caught it out. They were just holding him at that door so long they felt like they had the lockdown and waiting for the rest of the team to group up here. They were able to push through, so we're on the way to the third point.
Exactly. I had thought that maybe blue should be taking a different route, and who knew that they would just decide, okay, back cap route. That's the way to go. Both teams with a huge amount of ultimates, though, in this coming up in this next fight. Zoni Diva Bomb actually finds Paydirt, connects onto Big Goose, and in conjunction with Ultra Speed's Dragon Blade, that will be a secure hold for the side of red.
Blue team have to drop back now. A lot of ultimates used on the red side. They're only down to 1 and 2 now with the Tactical Visor ready to go. But Coalescence, a very strong ultimate for someone who is on an attack with a Death Ball here. So we have Pag holding on to that Earth Shatter as well. So a lot of opportunities here to combo all of these abilities here. So we'll have to see which blue team decides to use first, and if they have the patience to land the ultimate they need.
Coalescence comes out early from the side of Reds, just looking to push through this defending team at all. Cranks pops the attack visor and cuts down Snillo, but not before he finds Vinon, the Zarya. Graviton comes out to not a huge effect, both teams battling it out back and forth on this point. Looks like Blue will be disengaging, however, as Snillo switches off onto the McCree. I take that back.
Yeah, they landed a huge Earth Shatter there. That was using the point as cover. It's so hard to think about. You just forget that an Earth Shatter can come through, even if you're on the other side of this giant battering ram here. But they don't care. That's going to be the Fire Strike coming in as well. Red team need a hold here.
Yes, Ultra Speed has his blade on point. Will he be able to beat the hero his team needs? Counter Sound Barrier comes out as Ultra Speed is slicing and dicing in desperation, but he's cut down by Big Goose. This Zarya has been doing amazingly for the blue side, and that's going to be it. The map goes, Team Blue able to push all 3 points with 1 minute remaining. They just decided to bring it in home, old-fashioned way. Reinhardt hammer swinging mechanically, just using the mechanical skills, no ultimates needed.
And you saw the patience coming out from Blue Team as they approached that last push, not using all of their ultimates at the same time, but layering them when the time was needed. And even when it looked like Blue Team was about to disengage, that Earth Shatter allowed the Blue Team to put 2 DPS players on the ground, 2 people who really have the ability to, you know, hold back the Blue Team on their attack there. So getting both the Genji and the Soldier was crucial for PAG. So really, really great play that opened up and allowed them to push on that long extended fight.
Yeah, once that Earth Shatter came through, there was no way for Red Team to regroup and reapproach this defense as a whole team. So it was literally just throwing bodies onto the point, which were easy fodder for Blue Team to clean up. Great Rhine play coming out from PAG.
But now we see with the timing, will be Blue Team attacking first. So they got to make the most out of their minute and 7 seconds here. Not too far behind, 30 seconds. So they just have to beat them out by 1 fight, basically, for when the point flips. But first things first, Blue Team will be on attack.
Yep, Blue Team going again with the Junkrat that served them so well. Red going to be holding instead with a triple tank Reinhardt Zarya position. Neither team choosing to go with the Mercy. No reses available, but they are going with the dueling Moiras.
Sorry, Triple Tank and Moira are very, very strong here, as that's going to be the Reinhardt going down for the side of the red team here. So Triple Tank so far so good here, as Convertible will cash in on a kill of his own, taking out both tanks from the red team here, looking very strong. Blue Team on the point.
Exactly, it's a 1v6 on the point right now. This poor Moira finally goes down at the hands of Pog's hammer. Blue Team supremely confident as they simply walk through the choke, and Red not expecting perhaps as aggressive of an attack. They were just caught off guard and quickly fell at the hands of this Blue Team.
Kodak is able to keep the team topped off there. PAG dropped so low, but finally the Reinhardt on the red side was the one who fell first, and that was the kill that really mattered. They weren't able to occupy the space they needed, but now it is counting down. 2 seconds left. They cannot leave the point for the Blue Team. Coalescence is going to come out.
Snillo though with a crucial stick onto Hedon. That will be a lot of the healing cut down from the red defending side. The spawns are so far away. The tire comes out from John and finds Tavik. That's the second healer down for red. Will Blue be able to use this momentum swing in their favor to push through streets?
And Paget even still has that Earth Shatter as well. So as long as they are coming to the point and they needed to do that to contest, this could be the answer they need. Is now Big Goose will be going onto that hog here. So it'll be back to 2-2-2 for the Blue Team here. They have 2 ultimates. It's going to be the Sound Bearer and an Earth Shatter. A lot to keep them alive on this point.
Yes, there will be perhaps the saving grace on the side of Red in the form of Vinon's Graviton, though. Red still holding on this high ground. Right time to down. Graviton is thrown into the fight as the trance comes out from the side of Red. The fight falling in the favor of Red as Team Blue just not able to keep a toe on the point. Not bad progress, though, made for just about 1 minute, though. The question will be, will they be able to hold against the enemy team in this next round?
Red Team now will be attacking in round 4. Their last time was in round 1, so they had 2 times they had to defend And now we'll be back finally on the attack, and we saw it go so well for them on that first round because of their ability to get the pick onto the Junkrat early on. So depending on the defense here, it might be a little bit different. But no, it looks like they're going to be bringing back the Junkrat. John Cenon wanting to make a difference here with those grenades, holding them at this choke point. But we saw, actually, when he was on attack, using the concussive mine to get up and away and past the choke point and just turn heads on the side of the defense. But there on the defense, you can see they're going to want to play around this Junkrat and play with this choke point. They got to contain them in this lane and keep them at bay if they want to be able to win this.
Yep, John C sneaking around the spawn, perhaps looking for another early pick like he did on their last defending round. Junkrat, again, with only a little over a minute left, those first picks are going to be crucial for helping your team hold. Now, red team looks like they're about to roll out with a Deathball composition. Ultra Speed still sticking with the Genji, however. Very difficult to run against a Junkrat in most games, as, Snillo accidentally gets DC'd. Looks like we may be heading into a pause. Yep, that's right. Well, as we work out some of these connection issues, folks, don't go anywhere. There will be more Overwatch action right after this.
Very cool. I guess we can, yeah, how do you feel?
Feeling better. I mean, my phrasing a little bit, but I think it's probably just issues with my stamina. Like I've been casting like about a game or two every single day since I started.
Yeah,
but
crazy.
Not for like long periods of time, so I'm kind of getting a little bit mushy brained, I think maybe.
Yeah.
But, all right. Coffee, let's get back into it.
Yeah, this is gonna be my last game as well. I gotta go I gotta head out after this. I should be dog sitting.
Oh, puppy.
Exactly.
What kind?
I think golden retriever.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
Best kind of, one of the best kinds of dogs. Fluffy and adorable.
Yes. But yeah, I think your phrasing is definitely getting better. And I'm hearing you pick out things more like very intentionally when we were talking about the ultimates in that last one. I think that was good to point out, right? Because that's what it ended up being the turning point. It was the Graviton Surge pulling everyone together. They needed to be on the point, right? So that's it. It's questionable whether like you should use Graviton Surge off the point to try to pull them off, or put it exactly where you know everyone will be, and then they're able to like put all the damage on it as well. So like I think it was a good call out in terms of the one to look for, because there were like 3 ultimates up on the red side when they were on the defense.
Yeah. I mean, I think I just feel a lot more comfortable. I think that I'm also stepping on your toes a little bit less, like interrupting you a little bit less. So that's always good, because I think that was like a big issue that I had like throughout like casting with anybody. So, well, folks, we are back into the game now. Looks like, oh no, looks like Snillo will not be joining us. Perhaps we're just going to be having some fun with this 6v5. As we load in now, red side attacking, blue side defending.
Red side here, yeah, will blue already lose another one here, but that's going to be a 4v6, as they've already lost a player just on the lobby. So the Pag is going to have to stay alive, but he has the orb on him, which will amplify the damage as well. Red team look very strong on this push.
Exactly, 60 seconds remaining, but red team is definitely going to be able to clean up and capture this point. The only question after this will be how long will it take them to golden box of victory, just some meters away from this choke point. You saw that red team was advancing very confidently onto the point. Most of blue team was caught into this small room with poor sightlines onto the point. Pug, the Reinhardt, desperately needing healing from his healers who are just zoned away from him.
You can see here, blue team playing very aggressively, and that's going to be a quick pick onto John Cena, but they lose their Reinhardt here, so that could be pretty big here as Ultra Speed is trying to get away from the Moira. But here we go. Kodak has the Coalescence, does decide to use it there, but gets killed by Vin, and this is going to be red standing 6 strong on the point. They still have some time to contest, but they're needing to make a move and make it now.
It's exactly. Blue was contesting extremely early because they knew they barely had any chance, any distance to give up. With this, it is possible that they still might be able to squeeze in one more contest before the payload rolls into second. But will they be able to stand on it? Pog, the Reinhardt Hammer swinging, gets onto the point at the last second, but Team Red was ready. They had multiple ultimates in their bank just for this express purpose. The attack visor sweeps. Team Blue and Red team take the map.
Play of the game.
Thought we were gonna see play of the game.
Darn.
Nice. I like the finish. That confidence. Very nice.
Thank you. I'll try to channel that more. Exactly. You know what you're saying. You're not gonna call things wrong all the time. That's
Exactly.
right.
Exactly. They have to feel. Even if you make like a wrong call. Like there've been times where I am not talking about somebody thinking they're in the other team, and then I just like finished my thought and I was like, that was completely wrong. Oh well.
No, yeah. I mean, I think it's especially difficult with the like pugs and stuff. You're not really familiar with the teams, you don't know the players, and like people are swapping around all the time.
Yeah.
So that's I mean, no biggie.
Yeah, even in
Anyhow.
games like other games, I just mean in general, that's something that will happen and will continue to happen for sure. But it's about like, yeah, I mean, you just finish strong and then you correct the next time.
Mm-hmm.
So nice. Well, yeah, I'm first reviewing my VOD from tomorrow. We did a broadcast yesterday out of our store, but then I'm gonna look through this briefly as well. I think definitely one of the things that I heard improve over time was just I think you were a lot more sure about what you're saying, but also it was definitely working towards getting to be more concise as well. There's this one part that I clipped here. Let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
If I can. I want to show you this clip, but
Okay.
other than that, I think everything went really well with the casting. Definitely more improved.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for all your feedback. It's like, I mean, I can practice as much as I want, like casting like this scrims for like random teams, but it really helps me a lot to get your feedback, especially about like these specific things. I can't believe you like actually clip something. I can't wait to see this. But yeah, no, like getting pointers and tips from you and like the other casters like fresh after having just cast like that game really helps it stick in my mind, I think. So I'll just try to keep improving. I'm trying to work on the confidence. So
Yeah, and I think when you're doing the casting on your own, there are going to be things that you definitely can work on by yourself, but at the same time, you have to be paired with someone else to work on other things. And so I think as part of this project as well, it's about identifying like, okay, what are the things that people need to work on in general, like as a caster? What are the things you need to be able to do? And so you can understand when it comes to working with other people or even just in polishing your own casting, what are the things you need to focus on? But then it's basically just like, yeah, like traditional sports practice. There's some things you can do drills on your own, or even we talked about vocal warm-ups, right? But then as a caster, like what are things that you need to do in a scrim, like need to do in an actual match and with an actual other person that you shouldn't even try to work on by yourself. And I think that is one thing that could definitely, like if you're doing a lot of casting, I think definitely make sure you're taking breaks and like refreshing and not burning yourself out from just doing too much casting, because it could be a situation where it's like, I want to improve on this, but I can't. But it's like, maybe if you're not able to cast with another person, that might not be something that you can actually work on.
yeah, for sure. It's not just a question of like the quantity, right? It's also the quality. Are you able to be mindful the whole time of like what you're doing? If you're casting with somebody, they're obviously enforce that, just by the nature of you having to like switch off with somebody. But if you're casting by yourself, then you can just like rag on and get kind of sloppy and not really realize it. But yeah. Anyways, thanks. So I gotta head out, but like thanks so much for this opportunity. I didn't even know that there were pro pugs going on. So
Yeah, it came up just today, so yeah.
yeah, and
good stuff
thanks
and
to
being
Noki
available.
for setting it up.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's in this Discord. If I can.
Yeah, oh yeah, she's in there. You can
Yeah,
and tag her in the practice casting. Cool. I'm gonna send you the clip. Basically, there's this one play where you're just like, Jesus, and I was like, it was hilarious, but like yeah, excited expletives or reacting in hype moments is definitely something also that will come with experience. But if you're mindful of it, then you can be like, okay, well, what would I say, or what can I do? What's okay to do? In an exciting moment.
Yeah. Try not to just scream out something like insanely stupid, like balls resting on my chin or something.
Oh God, wow.
Yeah, no, that'd be terrible, right?
Yeah. So I'll just send it to you. You can listen to it and see if it's something that you're cool with. I thought it was really funny,
Yeah.
but probably not something I would do in a like
Okay.
in a pro match or like like an official kind of casting.
No,
thing.
you gotta keep the excitement contained and professional. Absolutely. So I'll definitely work on that. I'll take that.
All right, good stuff. Good casting.
Yep.
All right,
All right.
see you next
Well,
time.
you have a good rest of the night.
You too.